It'd go a long way to doing so with victory tonight. Our thanks to Elliot Jackson from the Lancashire Telegraph. Remember, every Monday evening from 6 p.m, you can hear EFL All Access with myself here on Talksport 2 as we dissect the EFL's biggest stories from the weekend with a special guest. This Monday, upcoming, I'll be joined by the former Derby County and Scotland striker, Chris Martin. And if you do miss the live show, you can catch up on the Talksport app. It's also available as a podcast. Just search EFL All Access. Okay, let's head back to Ewood Park and join Cameron Jerome, the former Norwich and Birmingham striker, who's alongside Mark Wilson. It's an interesting decision to bring Michael O'Neill in. It's a big game for him tonight as well. Only Sheffield Wednesday have a worse home record than Rovers. And I wanted to ask you from a playing perspective, just how on earth that happens, how on earth you can just be poor at home in front of your own fans, and how difficult it makes it to try and survive.
Yeah, definitely. It can make it more difficult. It can make players nervous, especially at home with the fans obviously wanting to produce the goods out there in the pitch. And look, this Blackburn fan base is quite a loyal fan base, Hugh, and they've probably gone through a bit of a bad time at the minute in terms of the ownership group and things that are happening off the field, and then that transpires into the disappointment and sometimes anger overspilling from the supporters resonated at the players on the pitch. So you got to feel for some of the players sometimes, and sometimes you can take some comforts away from playing away because the pressure's off slightly. But from what I've seen of Blackburn this year, they've definitely been better on the road. They've definitely been better against stronger sides where they've been quite pragmatic in their approach, and they've allowed the other side to dominate possession, and they've been quite tight and hard to beat. And I think that's obviously under the last manager, Valerie Ishmael, and obviously with Michael now they might have a different style of play. So I'm looking forward to tonight's game, and hopefully these Blackburn players can give their supporters something to cheer about.
On that support, Mark, what's the crowd looking like? We're 5 or so minutes until kick-off. I know there's been a few crowds, not expecting it tonight, but there have been a few crowds at Ewood Park under 12,000 this season. Have their fans come out in their number tonight?
I'm just trying to work it out. There's probably as many Preston fans at the minute. I'm sure there's still plenty in the concourse. Certainly the Riverside stand over on the far side is quite empty, but I see a lot of people still making their way in. They'll be here, they'll make plenty of noise. It'll be a cauldron once we get underway. The Preston fans have been building up. They're in the Darwin end away to our right, and the bottom is certainly full, and the top starting to fill up as well. So going to be plenty of noise. There's no love lost between these two, that is for sure.
And a big banner unfurled by the Rovers fans. Pride of Lancashire since 1875. Absolutely, they have been, at least in their own stadium. They certainly have been. They'll want Andre Gudjonsson tonight, Cameron, to add to his number. I think he's been a good foil up top. 8 goals this season. What did you make of him so far compared to some of the other number 9s in the league, such as Osmajic at the other end tonight?
Yeah, I mean, he's been a real good source of goals for Blackburn. The problem has been with getting him fit. He's missed a couple of games for injury, but from what I've seen of him, he's a real clever number 9. He finds spaces in the box. He's got really good movement. He's quite elusive in terms of he plays off the back of defenders, but he attacks the ball really, really well. So hopefully the key to him scoring more goals was to be getting in good service into him. So that'll be interesting to see if Blackburn can actually do that tonight. And on the other end, Osmajic and Dobbin, they're a goal threat for Preston. And Osmajic, when he's been fit, make what you think of him off the field and how he behaves on it. But he's certainly a talent, and he's definitely got goals in him. So it'll be interesting to see how he links up with Dobbin tonight, and if they can be a source of goals for Preston.
They can certainly be those that write themselves into the history books and make themselves heroes with the fans this evening as the two teams make their way out onto the pitch. Members of the Blackburn Rovers Rainbow Cafe walking out with the players to grab the new Rainbow ball before kick-off. The Rainbow Cafe is an LGBTQ+ safe space. It's hosted by the Blackburn Rovers Community Trust Community Wellbeing Hub, and the Rainbow Ball, of course, a symbol of the league's ongoing commitment to ensuring that football is a welcoming, safe and inclusive space for every supporter in every stadium. You'll see that new ball across grounds this weekend. Just very quickly on the opening stages, Cameron, how important is it that Blackburn get the first goal tonight? Preston will probably come out of the blocks, won't they, and try and kill the atmosphere early? Yeah, definitely. I think Preston, they'll be buoyed on and cheered on with this large support they've got travelling down from Preston, so it's important for Blackburn to take a foothold of the game and take the game to Preston. The first goal in these sort of games are always important, local derby. I wouldn't mind seeing a few sliding tackles and a few punching tackles flying in, and plenty of goals hopefully, but it is important what Blackburn do try and take the game to Preston and obviously get this crowd behind them. And those cheers that just went up, it's not a goal, it's the announcement and the welcome to the new Blackburn Rovers manager Michael O'Neill, taken to the field in his first home game. His Blackburn side hoping to have a strong finish to the season to pull themselves away from trouble. Back-to-back wins under him would be a big boost in their pursuit, but can they do it, or will Preston North then jump into the top 6 to put pressure on their fellow playoff chasers? It's live and exclusive to national radio with a man who's won championship promotion on 3 separate occasions, the former Birmingham and Norwich striker Cameron Jerome, and Talksport's Mark Wilson.
Cheers, Hugh. Great atmosphere here at Ewood Park. The Preston fans packed in away to our right, their side in a luminous green kit, hoping to get at least a point that would lift them back into the top 6. They go with Cornell in goal. It's Hugh, Story and Gibson the back 3. Valentin, McCann, Whiteman, Devine and Vukovic across the middle, with Dobbin and Osmajic leading the line. Tot in goal for Blackburn, across the back 4 of Cashin, McLaughlin, Carter and Alabiosu. Tronstadt and Baraji holding, with Pickering, Jorgensen and Morishita behind Andre Gudjonsson, who leads the line. It's the blue and white, the famous blue and white half strip of Blackburn Rovers, and they're going into a huddle now. They got that big win last time out, Cameron, at Queen's Park Rangers. They'll be hoping to at least build on that. They're 3 points clear of the bottom. A win tonight, a massive shot in the arm for them. Absolutely, it'd be a big statement to get a victory tonight. Playing early on Friday night, you always want to get off to a good start in terms of being that first one up over the weekend, and put pressure on their rivals who are playing tomorrow, and no better way to do it than in a spicy Lancashire derby. Yeah, what a weekend we've got for you across the EFL. Tomorrow lunchtime, West Brom, Coventry, the new leaders back at the top, go to the Hawthorns. Then 3 o'clock, big game in the playoff mix, Wrexham taking on Ipswich, and on Sunday it's a small matter of the Steel City derby as the Blades take on the Owls, with the Owls staring League One firmly in the face. We're about to get underway then here at Ewood Park tonight. Can Blackburn get back-to-back wins under Michael O'Neill, or Preston and a pretty poor run of form? Well, it's going to be Blackburn who will knock it long. Top, all in green, out of his area, knocks it long, and they're going to play for a throw, and they'll get it early. Not made about the pitch here, Cameron. It has been quite wet as well here today, but the pitch looks okay at the minute. Yeah, from here it looks okay. There's a few little marks down this right-hand side. You can see some scuffs down the side, but other than that, it looks like a nice surface out there. I was a bit worried on the way in, actually, having seen the wet weather and seen their postponements this year. I thought, could we get up there and it could be off, but we're on and we've got a good game. Yeah, we have. It's a chilly night, but a decent night for football, and Preston have it inside their own half. They're knocking it long and downfield, where Blackburn will intercept it, but they play it back towards their own half, and Hayden Carter in the end as well to get it back to Tot, who first time swings it out on the far side. I'm not sure that was the best pass, but Blackburn can bring it down and they will play it forward. It comes off a Preston player, should be collected though in the middle of the field by Ali McCann. He'll play it and get it back down the right hand side, plays it into the edge of the area, and a lofted cross too deep in the end from the right hand side, but that was dangerous for Preston, who keep it in on the left, level with the edge of the box. A chance now for Vukovic to put a cross in, and he wins himself a corner. All that really there, Cameron, coming from the poor delivery from the back from the goalkeeper. Yeah, absolutely. The keeper's played a blind pass there out to the left hand side, and he's put his left back under a little bit of pressure. Preston regain possession and put a bit of a sort of a hopeful cross in there, and it goes out the box to the left hand side, and they managed to win a corner off the defender, and it's the first corner of the game for him. Yeah, it's going to be swung in. Alfie Devine will take it, the Spurs loanee, going to swing it in right footed. Everybody back for Blackburn. Early pressure from the visitors, delivered deep to the far post. He actually landed on the crossbar and went behind for a goal kick. I'm not sure the keeper knew it was that close to his goal, did he? Certainly not. It looks like he's waved it away earlier than it's actually coming to the box. He sort of waves this one away as it's coming off the near post, but it takes, I don't know if it's the wind or the curl on the ball, but it takes a sort of a dip and it lands on his crossbar. Fortunate enough for him. Yeah, that was a little bit lucky. That could have been an embarrassing moment. Toth, who started the season, then Ainsley Pears came in. He's gone out injured, and Toth is back in. Long ball forward, skims off the head of Gibson. That's Lewis Gibson. Then it's hooked away into the Blackburn half, and as you'd expect on Derby Day, it's all a little bit frantic early on. Whiteman wins the header. He's looking for Osmajic. Ball will be picked up at the back, and it's Cashin who will get it away, and Blackburn advance over halfway down their left-hand side, looking to play the ball forward. It's too deep, and in the end it'll run all the way through to David Cornell, who got his black goalkeeping strip on. He bowls it out, and we're back in play. It's quite fast and frantic. It'll be interesting who can settle down first here.
Yeah, definitely. These opening moments have been quite frantic and a little bit scrappy, but Preston look like they're the ones that are going to try and sort of move this Blackburn team around and sort of switch it from side to side as they're doing now, and obviously try and go in off their front players, which they've got two of them playing against that back three. If they can pin them back, and it's an opportunity for them to get territory.
Yeah, well, that was a good run from Devine. McCann's cross was blocked. It falls back to Devine. He's wide on the right-hand side. We've seen his quality throughout the season. He's on it now. Can he find a cross? He whips one into the 6-yard box where it's too near Tottenham. He gathers at the near post, but again, nice passage of play, and again, Devine involved. It was interesting, wasn't it? We heard from the Preston journalist earlier saying that the pitch at Deepdale is not helping them, but early signs Preston are getting it down and enjoying it here.
Yeah, definitely, and sometimes that can be the case if you've not got a nice home surface, but when you play away at a nicer surface, it gives you that little bit of impetus to go out there and get on the ball and make things happen. And Alfred Devine's definitely been a shining light in that Preston side this year. He's one what looks to make things happen, and you could see there what his intentions were, trying to put a low corridor cross into the box, and it just had the wrong shape and trajectory on it, but the intention was certainly good.
Yeah, it was. Just needed a bit more whip maybe on it to keep it away from the keeper. Blackburn knock it long. They've just got a free kick over on the far side on halfway. The ball though flicked away, and Preston were looking to counter, and they may yet counter here, but that was a good sliding challenge from Blackburn in the midfield that just won them the ball back. Now they'll come down their right-hand side, and they're advancing with Carter over halfway. Tried to play a ball into the channel. He was looking to get Gudjonsson in behind, or Jorgensen, who got a couple down at Queen's Park Rangers in that 3-1 win last weekend. But it's cut out, and here is Alabiosu with a throw in midway inside the Preston half. 0-0 if you just joined us. Just under 5 minutes gone here at Ewood Park as Blackburn looking to attack. Not too many chances just yet. Ball played forward, but sliced out of play by Carter, and Preston will get a throw in midway inside their own half. Approaching 5 gone, 0-0. Former League Cup winner Cameron Jerome with us tonight. Bright start here for Preston, but they've got the ball inside their own penalty area, and they'll look to build out from the back. Gibson will have it. He'll feed it out to Andrew Hughes, who then is closed down by Alabiosu, who's almost playing in an advanced position as Blackburn are looking to press. New manager coming in this stage of the season, Cameron. What can Michael O'Neill do at this time of the year with his team?
I think he can just lift the confidence of the team, to be honest with you. When a new manager comes in, you tend to have that sort of instant reaction. For some people it'll be clean slates, for others it'll be new ideas, and a new lease of life into the place. And I think, with the supporters, someone who can get that connection right with his supporters is so important. The things that they've had to go through over the last sort of couple of years here has been quite miserable. So if he can get the team playing some attractive football again and try and steer them away from danger.
Yeah, well, they tried to play it forward then, but Whiteman intercepted it. He finds Devine. He's now got the rampaging Vukovic down the left, but he didn't go that way. It comes back to midfield. They're looking to try and earn a free kick, and that's what they'll do. Dobbin just bought that. He just tapped it away. He knew the foul was coming, and it's a simple free kick on halfway. Yeah,
he sucked Carter in there. He's just had a little scan as the ball's coming to him. He's peeled off into a nice little bit of an area just off the back forward, and he's waiting for the centre half to come and take him out there. Smart play by the forward.
Yeah, certainly was. Ball on halfway, and an opportunity here for Preston if they want to play it long. They're just waiting for the big guns to get up from the back, the likes of Hughes and Sawyer, but they've played it short here. They're going to play it into the centre circle now. Whiteman will stand it up, diagonal ball towards Hughes. Hughes going to get the header into the penalty area. It'll fall on the penalty spot. They tried to bring it down with Dobbin. It'll fall to Devine, edge of the area. He wanders in, lays it out. Hughes is going to drive one across goal, and it's a good header 6 yards out away from goal. That was a good attack from Preston. They get a throw in.
Yeah, it looked like a deliberate set piece there where they sort of change up the angle to isolate Hughes in a 1v1 situation down this right hand side here. He wins the first ball, they keep it alive in a second, and they get a throwing down in this left hand corner.
Yeah, not been taken in the right spot, says the official tonight. So Hughes will advance forward. Not sure what was wrong with that. I don't know if there's a problem with the football or not. They've changed the ball anyway. Hughes has got it level with the edge of the box, plays it short, gets it back now. He's on the left touchline. 0-0. Preston attacking, and Preston will get another throw-in because that's pretty good defending from Blackburn Rovers. Remains 0-0 here. You're live on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. What a weekend we've got. What a run-in we've got. It's all to play for. The battle at the bottom as exciting as the battle at the top as well, as Hughes again wins a header. It's flicked into the box and then away from the box inadvertently. Devine will bring it down. He's closed down. And Blackburn poke it clear, and the break could be on potentially here. Morishita plays it forward. He's looking for Matthias Jorgensen, the former Bodo Glimt man. He has it wide on the left. Support arriving outside him. Gudjonsson waits in the middle. Can they get a cross in? Well, the cross is deflected and it goes behind for a corner. And Blackburn now get their chance to send the big boys forward. It's still 0-0.
Yeah, it was a nice little bit of a counter-attack there from Blackburn. Picked up the second ball in the middle of the field there, and then obviously played Jorgensen down that left-hand channel. He does well to wait for support and wait for the overlap and to get a ball into the box, which is easily dealt with by Preston, but out for a Blackburn corner.
Yeah, it is. And now they're going to swing it in from that far side, in front of the Darwin end. There are probably about 5,500 Preston fans in that stand, hoping the ball doesn't go in the net just below them here. Corner going to be whipped in. Blackburn's first real foray forward, and Whiteman will clear it away. Oh, that is a pet hate, Cameron Jerome corner. Never even looked like beating the first man, did it?
Honestly, he needs to bring it in 10 yards. It looks like he can't reach from that far side there, but absolutely waste of an opportunity there. First corner of the game, big centre-halves are up. You've got your two forwards in there. Just put something in there for them to attack.
Yeah. Give them a chance at least. Long ball forward, that looks like it'll be too long. Hughes, I think, was maybe waiting a call from his goalkeeper, didn't get one, so he headed away. It's on halfway, Blackburn have it. 0-0 here. Blackburn, remember, looking for a double over Preston, having beaten them at Deepdale in a cracker. We got 2 goals really late in the first half there, as Valentin has to go back to his keeper, David Cornell, and the Preston keeper knocks it long for Osmajic, who wins a header, and Devine now is after it down the right. Lovely little turn, just slipped but still held on to possession. Here now is McCann. He now has got Vukovic outside him. He gets it down midway inside the Blackburn half. Left hand side, there's an overlapping run from Hughes, tries to buy his teammate a bit of space. He finds Dobbin. Dobbin advances into the area. Oh, he's weaving his way through. The shot low, and it was saved by Todd, and Blackburn cleared. Well, Blackburn defence there almost dissolved in front of Dobbin, and he almost walked his way through, but the shot eventually saved by the keeper. But Preston are attacking again here. They had the chance to put it in. They'll go back towards halfway. That was a lovely bit of skill from Dobbin.
Lovely balance, coordination, aggressive with his driving. Once he got in the box, he was in control. He knew the defenders couldn't touch him.
Great cross comes in, punched away by Tot. Blackburn just on the back foot a little bit here at the moment, but now they try and counter from deep inside their own half, and they'll bring it forward. And that was a good play over on the far side from Morishita. It remains 0-0. And it's been a pretty lively old start here, but you'd have to say Preston the better team at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Blackburn look a little bit nervous. They look like they're still trying to feel their way into the game. Preston have started with some dangerous opportunities to get the ball in the box. They put the ball in the box on 1 or 2 occasions, and they're looking like if they can find Devine and Dobbin, they're the ones that look like they can make something happen for Preston.
Yeah, well, the ball will be played forward by Blackburn, but Preston pick it up. That should be a foul. Bit of a robust challenge from Jorgensen, and it'll be a free kick in the left back position for Preston. Again, not for the first time tonight. A couple of balls on the field. They need to get a grip of that. It's slowing the game down at the moment, and it is a free kick for the visitors. Here's Hughes, one of 2 changes that Paul Heckingbottom made tonight. As now Preston have it on halfway. Reminder, if Preston get a draw or better tonight, they will be in the top 6 start of play tomorrow, as Majic proving problematic down the other end of the field. Ball hacked away, and it's headed back into the Blackburn half, but they can't keep it in, and it's out for a throw into Blackburn Rovers. It's still touch and go at the moment. Blackburn yet really to get it down and do any serious damage. 0-0 here. Ball played across the field, looking for Alabiosu, but it's cut out, and it was Vukovic who got it. He now is steaming forward into the edge of the area, gets a cross in, it's flicked across goal. There's a chance at the far post. Dobbin will keep it alive. That was great play there from Vukovic, the fullback. It's played here to Whiteman, edge of the area. Can he get the shot away? He tries to feed it into the box. It's headed away unconvincingly, and in the end, Bolash Tot gets it back. That was frantic at the back, but great play from Preston down the left.
Great play, aggressive pressing there by Vukovic. Just read the attempted switch of play there, galloped down to the box and put a dangerous ball in. Preston look really dangerous on the transitions and the counter. They look like they've got energy and athleticism down the side of the pitch.
Yeah, they do. Ball in the Blackburn half, fired in towards Gudjonsson, couldn't control it, but it's won back, and won back well there by Tronstad. Ball works its way out wide on the Blackburn left. They're looking to try and get Jorgensen in behind. He's got him down the side of the Preston defence. He pulls it back to the edge of the penalty area. Now he'll pull it back to the edge of the box. It was Tronstad whose tackle started this move. He gets it now. Ball wide on the Blackburn left-hand side. Level with the edge of the Preston penalty area. 0-0 if you've just joined us here. And a chance for Blackburn to have a little bit of attacking threat here. They're trying to work in down the left. Can they pull the ball back? No, they can't. Great defence. There were 3 blue and white shirts waiting in the middle. Better from Blackburn.
Yeah, much better. Much more patient as well. Got into the final third, but was patient with it. Probed a little bit. Pulled that Preston defence out and waited for that right moment to have that slid pass towards the byline, and they was looking for that cutback. And they had numbers in the box, more importantly. It's the first time I've seen Blackburn commit that many numbers forward tonight.
Yeah. And again,
there's another problem with the ball.
They need to sort this out, don't they? It's I don't know if it's the fans to blame or the ball boys not quite keeping their eye on the ball, literally speaking. Ball going to be swung in then by Blackburn from the corner. And an opportunity here. This time you'd think to beat the first man and put some pressure on Cornell in the Preston goal. It's going to be an in-swinger. Referee blows his whistle. Here's the delivery this time towards the 6-yard box. He's headed away. It'll fall edge of the air. It's headed back into the mix. And it'll fall to Alabiosu, who plays it wide. In fact, it was Baraggi who gets it wide. It's a nice pass as well. They're cutting in here. There could be a chance for the shot. Across goal, and it's blocked and cleared away. Better from Blackburn Rovers on the attack. They've won it back on the edge of the box. Tronstad again. Down the right. Swings in the cross. Keeper collects. Palms it up in the air, and he'll gather it. Cornell, but that's the best we've seen from Blackburn. The counter could be on. They're looking for Osmajic. It's cut out. And Blackburn back on the attack.
Yeah, a little bit of a waste there from Preston. The keeper's got to read the room there and see what Osmajic is up. He's outnumbered there 1-3. It was never on for the short kick, but he's give Blackburn a chance to mount another attack, and he's give this crowd opportunity to get out their seats and cheer the team on.
Yeah, and they're doing that as well. Tronstad has it on the near side, gets it away to Alabiosu. He's looking to attack. He's taking on his man. He's going to put in a cross, stands it up to the 6-yard box. Again, the keeper parries it, but Cornell's got time to collect it. I think that was a calculated gamble. He bowls it out to Devine, who's under a bit of pressure. And now finally Preston have it back. But that's the best we've seen from the home side. They had that big win last week against Queen's Park Rangers. Can they add to it here on home soil? As Osmajic made a run in behind, but the ball didn't go forward, so Preston will have to build patiently. Here's Whiteman on the turn on halfway. He'll square it across to Devine now, who's over the halfway line, down the left. 2 come across to track him. Baraggi's in front of him, so he'll have to go back towards the halfway line. Preston a little bit more circumspect when they get it. They're a little bit more deliberate with their passing, whereas Blackburn have been a little bit more direct, trying to get it forward quickly. Here now is Gibson at the back. He'll get it away over on the Preston right. They're on halfway here, Preston. They're just trying to work their way forward. They have their own little passages of play, and they're happy to just take their time and work their way forward. Blackburn have dropped back in shape as they look to keep this clean sheet that they've got at the moment. It's 0-0 here live on Talksport 2. Rukovic down this near side, tried to thread it through, but Baraggi closed it down. They're patient, aren't they, Preston? They don't force it unless they absolutely have to. Yeah,
I mean, they've got players who are very, very comfortable in possession. You can see they're trying to work their patterns and trying to pull this Blackburn side out of position, and then use the quality of Devine and Dobbin and people like that, and obviously with the aggression of Osmajic leading the line. I think he causes such a threat for centre-halves, and he puts them on notice, where they're more worried about his movement and his aggression coming across them. And you know, if you can get the ball into the pockets for the sort of more technical players of Dobbin and Devine, that's where they're going to cause this Blackburn defence a lot more problems.
Yeah, well, Blackburn have it now. Again, they're looking to go long. They hit the ball over the top. It's headed forward towards the edge of the area, but Cornell was out quickly. He'll gather it, and he will underarm it out on this near side as he looks to get play going back quickly for Preston, who will advance forward. We've had 17 minutes. You're live on Talksport 2 tonight. Mark Wilson, Cameron Jerome, Hugh Wozencroft, your team, covering all the action here at Ewood Park. Ball working its way forward, and now it's Preston will go over the top looking for Dobbin. Ball headed away. Can Devine get on the end of it? Finds a touch here. Ball flicked round the corner looking for Dobbin, and the keeper just quickly enough off his line. You are listening to EFL live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m. 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery orders subject to availability. Price may vary, but It's pretty even, I think, so far, Cameron, and it's making for an interesting watch so far.
Yeah, definitely. I think Preston definitely started the brighter. That first 5 or 6 minutes, they had a sustained period of pressure on that Rovers back line, but Blackburn look like they've settled into the game a little bit now. They're looking to be a little bit more patient with it, not forcing issue as much, and looking if they can get the ball in wide areas. They've got 2 big lads up there who like to attack the ball, so can they work the ball up to the front men?
Well,
is the key.
Yeah, we'll see. Blackburn have overplayed it there, and it's gone all the way out for a goal kick. 18 on the clock, still 0-0 here. Reminder, a busy weekend. Game Day Live with Adrian Durham. He'll be around the grounds from 1 o'clock tomorrow. West Brom Coventry is our live exclusive Talksport 2 commentary at 12:30, followed by Wrexham Ipswich, and a bonus tomorrow night, Talksport exclusive Man City Newcastle, 8 o'clock live from the Etihad as Manchester City look to pile the pressure on the leaders. Arsenal, who slipped up again in midweek. Ball is down below us, and it'll be a throw-in for Carter, played round the corner. Blackburn not necessarily doing a great deal with it. It's nicked away. Osmajic goes to ground and wins a free kick for his side there, and he's not really had much to work with, has he, Milutin Osmajic, so far, but he did well there for his team.
Yeah, he done really well there, just feeling in the defender on the halfway line, just letting him come through the back of him. He just rode the tackle, but it was a foul. The defender's sort of come round the wrong side of him, and he's used his body brilliantly to draw a foul.
Ball played forward by Preston, and this time that one's overhit, and it'll roll away for a goal kick that Blackburn Rovers will take. 0-0 here. Very few chances so far. What will Paul Heckingbottom, the Preston boss, have made of the opening exchanges?
Yeah, I think he'll be pleasantly pleased with the start. He'll want to obviously take the game to this Blackburn Rovers side. He'll want to try and silence the crowd. I think they've made a good job in doing that so far. I think he'll be looking to work the patterns and be patient, but also be looking at getting his danger men into the game a little bit more. Osmajic has made some really good runs. They've not quite found them as of yet, but the likes of Dobbin and Devine, they're the two what look like they're going to be the match winners for Preston for me.
Yeah, Blackburn head it forward. Hughes will clear it away. Here now is Dobbin. Dobbin will get it away over on the far side. Paul Valentin will go forward. He's played it forward for McCann, but while he was trying to get there, he never looked like getting there, and Blackburn will tidy up on the edge of their own area, and they now will look to build it forward again. They're quite happy to go long. They're looking for Matthias Jorgensen, who's looked a threat tonight. 2 goals last week for him. Here's Johnson, room to turn midway through the Preston half. He'll have to go backwards, but he does hang on to the ball. He got the winner at Deepdale earlier in the year, earlier in the campaign when these two met, but it's 0-0 here so far tonight. Had to be patient for an opening goal when they did make in that opening encounter. Then we got 2 in added on time at the end of the first half, but no signs yet of the deadlock being broken. But Blackburn, who were on the back foot earlier, certainly growing into the game now, and they'll come forward over on this near side with Hayden Carter. Carter over halfway will just look to caress the ball back, and it's with Sean McLaughlin, and now it's Blackburn who are playing keep ball here. They're just trying to draw Preston out, but Preston are having none of it at the moment.
Yeah, they've been quite disciplined and regimented in their system. Their back 5, back 4, as it is, are quite tight together and compact. They're not allowing anything through them.
No, well, that was almost the ball into the box from Matthias Jorgensen. Collected, though, by Cornell, and he sets it forward. Here's Dobbin. Is it the referee? So that'll be a stop. Well, I'm not sure he can blame the referee there, Lewis Dobbin, who's 4 yards away and kicked it straight at him.
Yeah, a little bit of a loose pass there. He was trying to find the player who was just the other side of the referee. The referee's is always in the best position, I always say. The referee, if he can be sort of anywhere in between where he is, he's in a good position. Yeah,
well, he got hit there, so he stopped and gave Preston the ball back. That's a risky pass. Across the field was cut out. It was a little bit overly ambitious, that, from Preston. Not being in the best of form of late. They'll be looking to try and build a little bit of a run of form as they approach the final part of the season. Instead of that draw with Watford that followed the home win against Portsmouth, they are unbeaten in 3. And they're only denied at Ipswich, weren't they, by that late Jack Clark penalty that ended in a 1-1. That was an injury time penalty, so results haven't been too bad. And the fact that they're still in the mix despite being on a pretty poor run, Cameron, shows how well they did at the start of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I know they've not lost a lot of games this year. If they can try and turn 1 or 2 more of those draws what they've been getting into victories, then they'll for sure be in a more positive picture in terms of the playoff positions. But like you said, they're still in the coattails of the leading pack, and they're probably fancying their chances, to strike within 1 or 2 games of breaking into that playoffs. I mean, there's 14 games to go, and it's going to be about who puts on the best run from now to the end of the season.
Yeah, certainly is. Hall is on halfway. Preston have it halfway through the first half. You're live on Talksport 2. And it's been a keenly fought, closely contested match so far. Who's going to provide the bit of brilliance to break it open? Well, they've all slammed downfield by Blackburn. Their need for points an entirely different one. 3 above the drop zone coming into the weekend. If they can extend that in any way, that will ease the pressure that is here around Ewood Park. Feels a good appointment, doesn't it, Michael O'Neill? He comes across as a great fella and certainly got a tune out of the team last weekend.
Absolutely, it does feel like a smart appointment, to be honest with you. I know people will make a lot about the dual role and his duties with Northern Ireland, but I think it's a smart appointment. I think he's a very experienced manager. I think he can get a tune out of players. I think he's a manager of players and people, more importantly, and I think this is probably what these Blackburn players need at this moment in time. So I think it's a perfect fit for both parties. Whether it's longer term after the end of the season, who knows? But for now, and the job what's needed to pull Blackburn away from the relegation zone, I think it's a smart appointment.
Well, they've got a free kick on the halfway line here, Blackburn, and they're going to look to swing it in towards the penalty area. They're going to drive it towards the far corner. It's too deep, and Hayden Carter couldn't get up, and it goes all the way through. And the delivery from set pieces and into the box from Blackburn not being what they would have wanted. They've not been able to get Good Johnson involved as much as they would have liked early on here.
No, not at all. And he's definitely one what thrives off those sort of balls into the box. He's got great movement, like I said earlier before, and he attacks the ball really, really well. So he'll be demanding that ball's put in there with a little bit more quality, really.
He will. Hear the ball now coming forward with Devine. He's certainly showed his quality so far. Gets it away. Now a chance to put the cross in from Hughes. It looks to be too deep. It is too deep. Flag goes up on the far side, and maybe a lack of quality at the moment is probably what's hurting both sides. It's certainly the willingness to get forward, but you've got to be able to find that little bit of magic in and around the box.
Yeah, absolutely. He's looking a little bit cagey and a little bit disjointed at times in terms of the build-up, and the balls that are going up towards the front men and out wide have not been with the best quality so far. So these sort of games are always cagey affairs, I know, but it's there for somebody to take the game by the scruff of the neck. These sort of games need a spark. They need a moment of magic, and both sets of players out there will be looking around and saying, well, who's going to go ahead and make that happen? Can it be me? Can I go and take the game by the scruff of the neck? Can I be the game winner? Can I be the guy what's going to take the game by the scruff of the neck and make something happen?
Yeah, well, the ball is out of play down in front of us. The two managers look on. Michael O'Neill looking on from his vantage point. Be reasonably happy. Preston got down the sides a couple of times, but not really, other than that dobbing effort, created too much in front of goal. Here now is Jordan Storey. He's just going to roll it back to his goalkeeper Cornell, and he now will look to play it long and downfield. Across the field, Alabiosu will win the header, and it should be brought down by Preston. They've got time to bring it forward here, and now they'll have it just inside, or midway inside their own half. Blackburn again just dropped back into position.
I think what's happening here as well, what I've seen from this early exchanges, is they're both playing a 3-5-2 formation, so I feel like they're nullifying each other a little bit. It is a little bit man-to-man at times, but both sides are not moving the ball quick enough to be able to get people on the ball. I think it will be a battle of the wing-backs. Whoever can push the opposition wing-backs back the furthest and get a little bit of control and a little bit of territory in that middle of the park, and be able to work some patterns through and get it into the front men with better quality.
Ball on halfway now. Storey will bring it. He's looking to try and play a ball in down the channel. Again, it's overhit. And again, it's just lacking that little bit of quality at the moment. And maybe two teams who haven't been in the best of form are showing us why tonight. Yeah, it screams at that at the minute, doesn't it? And, again, these sort of games are cagey and edgy, and you don't really want to be over expansive and take that many risks. You're sort of going for safe balls, and you tend to get into a habit of going a little bit longer and a little bit more safer. But, there's no harm in doing that, but just do it with a little bit more quality and a little bit more care. Yeah. Well, Tott's going to take the goal kick. He's had the one really meaningful save to deny Dobbin after Dobbin waltzed his way through the heart of the Blackburn defence, so couldn't really get the purchase on the goal-bound effort. Here now is Ben Whiteman, will turn and finds Hughes. Hughes now will play it over the top, looking to try and get in down the side. Now they'll play the ball to Dobbin. Dobbin went without it, but it's won back by Devine, but at the expense of a free kick. Certainly Dobbin and Devine are the two, aren't they? The two lone players. They've certainly got the ability, and Preston, you feel if they can get them involved a little bit more, will offer a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. Every time it's gone into Devine there, he's looked to make things happen. He looks like he's a really cute, clever player who plays in between the lines. He takes the ball under pressure really well. He can manipulate it really well, and like you say, everything bright, which has come from Preston thus far, has come through him. Obviously, he looks to have a good connection with Dobbin as well. Them two are looking to interchange and connect as much as possible, so that's going to be key for Preston getting anything out of this game.
Yeah, ball forward by Tot. Looking to try and get it to Good Johnson. Beaten away from him. It'll be picked up though by Morishita. He gets it away. Blackburn attacking. Tronstadt looking to switch the play out wide. Brought down edge of the penalty area by Blackburn. A little give and go. Option 25 yards out. They're going to swing in a good looking cross towards the far post. And Baradji with a header puts it wide. That was a chance. Didn't quite get enough on it.
No, absolutely not. Just didn't get the purchase on it. It looked like he's just swung his neck at it a little bit too much. But great opening there from Blackburn. Worked it patiently from right to left. Swung in by Cashin, and good movement by Good Johnson there to vacate the space, and Baradji comes in behind but couldn't quite get the purchase or direction he desired.
No, but that was better. It was certainly a better ball into the box. There might be a chance to get another one in here. Ball won high up the field. Did they? Oh, just offside Jorgensen. That was tight. They won it back high up the field, Blackburn. They played it into Jorgensen, but it deemed that he's just gone a fraction too soon.
Looked tight, that did, you know. I wasn't quite sure about that on first glances.
Well, I don't think there was the Arsene Wenger daylight between the two, was there? It was close, wasn't it?
Yeah, it looked like a case of the Preston defender stepping out as he was making his running behind, and the linesman's deemed it to be offside, so we've got to go with the linesman's judgment there, but from up here it certainly looked tight.
Yeah, it did, but the flag, to be fair, went straight up. So Blackburn having a decent chance there. Now it's Preston on the attack. Osmaic was out-jumped there. Now the ball with Alabiosu has it. He'll lay it back, and a chance now for Blackburn to play forward. But the ball will be cleared high into the night sky here. At half an hour on the clock, it's tight here, as you'd expect on Derby Day. There's a good header forward from Good Johnson, but there was no blue and white shirt on the end of it. And Valentin will bring it down, and he finds Whiteman, his captain, who finds a nice ball to set Hughes away down the left. Crossfield pass. He's looking to find Osmaic, wins the header. McCann did well there. There's no real opportunity, it seemed, to keep it alive, but he did so. Now he's back on the ball, and Preston inside the Blackburn half. 0-0 here. Ball on the halfway line with Lewis Gibson, and it works its way back out on the right. Whiteman, but they're not really asking any questions at the moment. They're just passing around in front of Blackburn, who are happy just to hold their shape. Now Devine will look to make things happen. He drives forward. He's looking to put the ball across the field. Now there's a chance for the cross to come in here from the right-hand side. It was almost towards the 6-yard box. Devine was there. It was cut out and it's fed away. And the ball with Blackburn on the far side, but they've run it out and it'll be a throw-in. Preston having possession, Cameron, but not really doing a great deal with it at the moment.
No, but they just look to be moving this Blackburn defence around. This Blackburn defence look like they're stubborn in the low block, and Preston have got some really nice, tidy footballers in the middle of the park in Whiteman and McCann, and obviously Devine popping into pockets there. So it's patient and probing. They're not forcing it, even though they just give away a loose pass as I speak there. But it was a patient build-up play, and it was nice by Osmaic peeling away off the back of the defender, and he gets the knock down to McCann, and then they pick up the pieces and sort of probe from there. But yeah, like I said earlier before there, it is nice bits of interchange there by Preston.
Yeah, ball with Blackburn now. They're looking to switch play. That was a nice pass. Alabiosu on the right. He's got an advancing runner in front of him. He tried to find him, does eventually. It's Carter. Plays it in. A risk of the referee's had another touch. Well, is he a little bit too close to the action, the official, tonight? Again, it's a ricochet. I'm not sure what he could do, but it's one of those, having one of those nights, he can't seem to get out of the way, can he?
He's got to move his feet there in the middle of the park. He's got to be on his toes a little bit. He's unfortunate there with that one. It does ricochet off him, and it does halt the Blackburn attack there. But yeah, he's definitely close to the action, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's probably had more touches than some of the players on the field tonight. It is 0-0. 32 gone. Ball played over the top by Blackburn. There's a bit of a coming together edge of the box. Referee's happy to let play on. Osmajic challenges for the clearance. Might fall here. Johnson's going to lay it off. 30 yards out from goal. Blackburn attacking. Away to our right. Here now is Alabiosu. Looks to drive in across to the 6-yard box. Headed away. Nice header away from Whiteman. But all of a sudden, Blackburn are starting to put some better balls into the box.
Yeah, that was better play there. He just got out his full back in that wide area. Committed in 1v1. And looked to put a good ball in. It wasn't quite the right execution, but the intention was definitely there. Much better from Blackburn.
Yeah, certainly was. Ball played into the edge of the area then. Blackburn attacking again. Starting to have more of the ball, more of the possession, more of the territory. Can they turn it into meaningful chances here? Baraji puts in a cross towards the edge of the 18-yard box. It's headed away. Osmajic is going to have to hold it up. And Osmajic does well. He's been pulled back. And again, he wins his side of free kick. Didn't have a lot on there, Milutin Osmajic. And maybe that's why Paul Heckingbottom so keen to get him involved tonight, because he's doing a good job when he does get it.
Absolutely. And that's so vital for a team, especially away from home. Having that centre forward that can retain possession when it comes out. It's just a headed ball out, but he gets in front of his defender and he backs into him, uses that body and draws another foul from that Blackburn defence. Brilliant centre forward play, that.
Yeah, it was indeed.
And I think you're right there with what you said about Heckingbottom. Probably wanted a little bit more of a presence at that top line, especially away from home against this quite physical Blackburn back line.
Yeah, certainly got plenty of attacking threat on the bench. The likes of Callum Lang, Michael Smith, Ophir and Small advancing players as well. As Whiteman's pass is intercepted. Morishita now sprints away for Blackburn. Tries to feed Jorgensen. Jorgensen down the flank, but a nice covering tackle from Gibson, who not only won the ball, but brings it safely away. And now there could be a little bit of a break on as there's a strong challenge goes in. Ball given away, though. That was risky. Devine was looking for a free kick. He doesn't get one. Alabiosu sprinting past him. Devine, in fairness, gets back. Pokes it behind for a corner. Blackburn on the attack here. And Ewood Park starting to believe.
Yeah, certainly there. That's what it is. These supporters are starting to really believe that they can get something out of this game. I mean, as a Blackburn player here, you've got to be really trying to involve this crowd. I know you don't like to see it sometimes, but almost playing up to the crowd and getting them off their feet, giving them something to cheer about, whether it's a clearance, whether it's a tackle, whether it's closing somebody down, just getting them, that supporter, involved and making them your 12th man.
Yeah, well, there've not been a lot to cheer about at Ewood Park in recent seasons, but they're fighting for survival and they're making a good fist of it tonight. Ball whipped into the 6-yard box, cleared away. Morishita's going to lash one. Oh, he is, but it was always going over. Well, you said you've been doing some coaching today, Cameron. There were plenty of tips you could have given Mr. Morishita there.
Yeah, you see that the thing what's on the grass there, it's called a net. Don't put it in a stance on. It did sit up invitingly for him though, and it was a nice chest control. Don't blame him for having a pop shot from there, and why not? If you don't buy a ticket, you don't win the raffle, so to say.
Exactly. 0-0. 10 to go to the break. You're live on Talksport 2 tonight. Ball over the top as Myatt's trying to be a nuisance. Ball headed back to Tot, who slides back towards his own byline and collects it. You are listening to the EFL live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m. 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery orders subject to availability. Price may vary. 0-0 here. And the ball out of play over on the far side from Preston. Well, we had to wait until just before half-time at Deepdale. It's just a game that just wants that little bit of quality.
Yeah, definitely. These games always are, they're cagey affairs, they're tight. Nobody wants to give an inch. And it's just waiting for somebody to come up with that moment of quality, whether it's somebody getting their head up and picking up the right ball, or somebody putting in a good delivery for some of these front men dying for some quality service into the box.
Yeah, well, Preston will play it forward now, but again it's overhit and Top will just go back, controls it on the penalty spot, and he'll wait and just pass it out nonchalantly for Blackburn to work their way forward again. Ball played up towards halfway. Preston will bring it down. They'll go back to Cornell, and he now will have it, just waiting for players to move. Whiteman gets the ball away, and as we see now so often, teams trying to pull other teams out of shape by playing inside their 18-yard box. Cornell's pass, well, his touch was poor and he's got away with that. and Preston get away with it. His heart would have been in his mouth there, the goalkeeper.
Yeah, certainly a square pass across the box. Poor loose touch by the goalkeeper, and then an even more poorer ball to the defender. Put him under pressure there, but luckily they survived that little bit of a scare.
Yeah, certainly did.
Good press by Blackburn, though. I like that. Really aggressive. Good starting positions. Everybody up the pitch going together.
Yeah, you could see the press coming, and that's what made it strange. They took such a gamble playing out. Ball out of play. Paul Heckingbottom looks on. The side not created an awful lot so far tonight. And there's still plenty of time in this one. 7 to go to the break. Huge weekend in the EFL. You'll catch it all live across the Talksport network. West Brom, Coventry and Wrexham Ipswich tomorrow, 12:30 and 3 o'clock respectively. Then on Sunday it's the Steel City derby, the Blades against the Owls from midday on Talksport 2. Ball now with Alabiosu. He has it on the right hand side, looks to play it forward now. Ball brought down by Gudjonsson. Not really had a side to goal, but does well. He might call one on the back of his heel. They're going to have a shot from distance, and that would have been an adventurous effort from Cashin. But his shot was blocked, but he wasn't frightened to pull the trigger there, the low knee.
He's not known for his goals there, is he, Erin Cashin? But he certainly decided to pull the trigger there. But good block there by Preston. But just looking at Gudjonsson there, some of his bits of hold-up play is his all-round game. He's not had any chances to go off, but he's been really neat and tidy every time the ball's come up to him, and he's been a good foil for Blackburn to go off.
He has. Bad tackle there, but it's play on. Referee will be coming back for that. Dobbin brought down here into the box now. A chance here for Devine. Ball hacked away. All came about. It was another poor clearance from Bolas Todd. Well, he's got up here. Well, that's not going to endear him to the Ewood Park crowd. Dobbin, who was rolling around on the floor. The ball landed at his side. He got up and carried on with it. Referee, I think, will still produce a yellow card when play stops. Here's the chance for Valentin to get the cross in. Ball's cleared away. It'll go out, but I think we'll be coming back for a yellow card. That was a poor tackle. Yeah,
it looked a poor tackle, to be fair. I think he's just come in the blind side, the centre half, and he's got none of the ball and all of Dobbin there. And, Dobbin looked like he was withering around in pain until the ball landed at his feet 20 seconds later. Then he gets up and pops a ball off wide, and he becomes the pantomime villain of the Ewood Park crowd.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it was McLaughlin or Carter that went in the book. We'll confirm that in due course. But another chance for Preston.
But we haven't seen enough of that, though. These sort of tackles in a game like this. I know he's got booked for that, but lay the marker down in a derby like this. You want to see tackles. You want to see, it played at a ferocious pace, and something should mean everything to these boys here today.
Yeah, certainly should. Well, it's 0-0. We're 5 away from the break. There have been a couple of chances at either end. It was Carter who got the booking, and I don't think he can have any complaints whatsoever.
No, absolutely not.
With that one. Ball played down the channel, and it's all the way through to Top, who will come out to the edge of his box then. And it remains 0-0 here. Ball played forward looking for Gudjonsson. Beaten in the air this time. Alabiosu wins it. Might have been letting Gudjonsson take that towards goal there, but Alabiosu has it. Couple of step overs onto his left foot. Swings in the cross, and it found Gudjonsson. It's bouncing in the 6-yard box and eventually cleared away, but only as far as 25 yards out from goal. And now there's a chance here possibly for the cross towards Gudjonsson. It's just over him. Oh, it's a poor header there. There's a bit of holding in the box. And again, Vukovic there made 2 real poor clearances, but eventually the ball comes out on this near side. And there's a chance now for Blackburn. Alabiosu, is he going to unleash one? He tried to curl one towards the goal. Whiteman hooks it away. Preston just on the back foot here approaching half-time, as Blackburn probably having their best spell of the game. But as I say that, Carter's ball forward is a bit aimless, and it'll be picked up by Preston at the back, and Preston have it back. And, well, at the moment, you'd have to say it's pretty even, but Blackburn just starting to enjoy a little bit more go forward.
Yeah, certainly there down that right-hand side with Alabiosu. He found himself in acres of space, a little bit of a mix-up between him and Gudjonsson, but he decided to take control of the situation and put in a great ball into the box there. Let Gudjonsson get in there and attack it, and I'll put it in.
Yeah, well, there is an opportunity now for Blackburn to put the squeeze on. 3 to go to the break. You're live on Talksport 2. Mark Wilson, Cameron Jerome, Hugh Wozencroft, your team tonight at Ewood Park. Now it'll be Carter in the book for that poor challenge on Dobbin. Looking to get an attack going here. He's taken an eternity to get the ball back into play. Eventually throws it down the line. Johnson was beaten to it. Bit of head tennis ensues. Carter heads it into the middle of the field. Now the break could be on if McCann can get to this ball first. McCann does get to it. Plays a nice pass to Whiteman. Whiteman's got Dobbin to the left, but he's looking to the right, and that just slows things down here because Valentin have made a great run down the right-hand side and maybe just needed to get their head up a little bit more there.
Yeah, just be a little bit braver there. You're in the halfway line, you've got your fullback galloping down that wing in acres of space. Just put it in there for him.
Yeah.
He's turned it down and kept possession, but you've lost territory and you've let this Blackburn defence get back set again.
Here now, going forward, is a chance for Dobbin. He's gone past one, he can't get past Alabiosu, goes to the ground, and that's a corner, I think. Dobbin felt like it hit Alabiosu as he slid over the line there. He might have had half a shout, but it's a goal kick.
Yeah, I don't think the referee can see from there. I think it's a little bit unsighted, but from up here it certainly looks like it hits the Blackburn defender last and goes out for a goal kick. But I think sometimes as a referee you've got to give the benefit of the doubt, and the easy decision there is a goal kick.
Yeah, it was. As we tick into towards the final minute of the first half, not been too many clear-cut chances. We saw the run for Dobbin and the shot, and then the chance for Divine for Preston at the other end. That Baraggi header, really the closest that Blackburn have come so far. But it was about this time in the opening fixture between these two when the goals started to flow. What will happen here? Casham will drive forward. He plays a long ball over the top. He's overhit it again. Said that a few times tonight, haven't we, Cameron? Too many overhit long balls.
Yeah, I've been losing my hair if I was playing up front for either of these sides tonight. You know, the quality up to the front men has been dreadful, really. It's been wasteful at best. But, you know, it is a local derby and it is Cajun. You know, there's a lot riding on the line for both sides. So, yeah, I'm not surprised it has been like this. But, you know, I am a bit underwhelmed by the quality out there.
Yeah, ball headed forward by Baraggi. All played forward. Now there might be a chance. That's a lovely pass there from Jorgensen. Just invited Johnson forward. He just has to turn. Pirouette gets the ball out to Baraggi. Baraggi will play it wide on the right-hand side now. Here's Alabios, who cuts in onto his left foot, floats the ball towards the spot, headed away by McCann. We've got one added on minute at the end of the first half. I don't think anyone here will have too many complaints about that. Here, though, is a chance for Blackburn as they fire the ball in. Great ball, Johnson with the header. Couldn't get the contact with it. In fact, it wasn't Johnson, was it? It was one of the players up from the back that had the chance, but that was a big chance there for Blackburn. Going to fire it in again here, Blackburn. Baraggi edge of the area, looking to work it through, and it'll be cleared away by Preston, but that was a great chance for Blackburn Rovers to take the lead. Yeah,
it looked like it was Jorgensen there. Great ball in by Baraggi, inviting just that whip ball into that corridor inside the 6-yard box. It looks like, to be honest with you, it looked like he took his eye off the ball. That was my first instinct. It looked like he got ahead with the defender. It looked like he stole a march. It looked like he took his eye off the ball, but good defending. He marshalled him, stayed tight with him, even though he'd lost him initially, but he stayed tight with him and made sure that he couldn't get clean contact on the header.
Yeah, well, what a chance. So 2 good chances at either end, but the whistle brings to an end what's been an eventful first 45 minutes, but without a great deal of goal-mouth action. Preston, it was, had the early chance when Dobbin weaved his way through. He found himself in front of goal, but the shot was comfortably saved by Totten. He also comfortably saved an effort from Alfie Devine, who also drove his way into the area. At the other end, there was a nice header, or a nice-headed opportunity for Baraggi, but he skimmed his header wide. And then right at the end, Matthias Jorgensen with a gilt-edged chance, couldn't head it in from 6 yards out. All square at the break, a night where neither side really wants to get beaten. Probably shown in that first 45 minutes as well. Half-time here at Ewood Park. Blackburn 0, Preston 0.
Well, it hasn't exactly burst into life, but there's been plenty of endeavour in the first 45 minutes from both Blackburn Rovers and Preston North End. Preston have just edged it in the possession stats, 52%. They've had 2 shots, both of which have been on target. 6 shots for Blackburn, none of them on target, but a little bit of an indication of that lack of goal-mouth action that Mark mentioned. Expected goals for Blackburn, 0.22. 0.09 for Preston North End. They managed just over a quarter of a goal between them in terms of the quality of the chances. So there you go, just about an indication of what we've had so far, Cameron. It's been... it's been something that's engrossed you, and you've kept an eye on it very, very closely throughout. The ball's been, going end to end. It's been cut and thrust in terms of the impetus from both groups of players, but maybe just lacking in that bit of quality. Yeah, absolutely. The word quality is missing all around here tonight. I mean, application, effort. You've seen some crunching tackles. You've seen desire go in there. But there's that little bit of quality, in, especially in the final third for both sides. The lack of quality going up to the front line, and the lack of quality when the teams have actually got the ball in dangerous areas out wide. It's been really, really poor. But, hopefully second half they can take a little bit more of a risk in terms of the build-up play from both sides. I think they've both gone a little bit too direct. They look like they've cancelled each other out in terms of the formations. They're both playing the 3-5-2, and at times they're pushing each other back in terms of the full-backs getting on top, and then they're losing the ball and they're getting counter-attacked on, but they're getting away with it because of the lack of quality. You mentioned being a bit too direct, so that's an interesting point, because for Blackburn you'd maybe expect it. They're struggling towards the bottom of the league, but for Preston North End, they're a team that wants to be finishing in the top six. They are a team where I have to say the impetus is probably on them on a night like this, even though they're away from home. They should be the favourites looking at the table in a game like this. How do they get their foot on it, start to play a little bit more possession football, a little bit more high-quality football, and try and test the Blackburn Rovers defence in a different way? Well, I think they've got to be quicker. I think they've moved it patiently and they've probed patiently, and they've ticked the ball over nice. They've connected nice in the midfield with the three central midfielders that they've got in there, McCann and Whiteman. And, Devine, when he's got on the ball, he's looked bright and he's looked like he's one of the only ones that can make something happen for this Preston side. But, that's the only time they've had success, but they've not moved it quick enough. They've moved side to side, but they've allowed that Blackburn defence to get set, and then they've tried to penetrate from there. But I feel like every time they're going long, they're going to Osmajic. He's on his own against three centre-halves, three imposing centre-halves who have marshalled them quite well, and he'll be frustrated. I'll be frustrated if I was a forward playing in that side for sure. I was going to ask you who would be the happier out of the two managers, but maybe it's who's going to be the least frustrated, because I think both will have some issue with how their team have performed so far. In a game of this magnitude here, especially a local derby, I think both managers will be quite pleased, to be honest with you. I mean, I'd probably shade that and say Michael O'Neill will be slightly the more pleased in their dressing room at half-time, because it gives them a platform to be able to go and try and nick something in the second half. Obviously, they're keeping a clean sheet up until now, something they've struggled with at times this year. And we know how stubborn this Preston side can be as well. So, like you said, the impetus is on Preston to go and take the game to this Blackburn team who are languishing at the bottom of the league. Can Preston, really mount a challenge for promotion and push into those playoff places? You're going to have to come to places like this and win games. I mean, just thinking back to times when I've been promoted in my career, it's games like this and moments like this where somebody's got to take the game by the scruff of the neck and come up with that quality and that magic little moment to win you the game, whether it's a 1-0 victory or if you can emphatically get 2 or 3 goals in that second half once the game opens up. Yeah, to put it into NFL terminology, someone's got to go out there and make a play in the second half, because someone needs to bring this game to life. We've had an energised first 45 minutes, but as we mentioned, a lack of chances so far. Thank you very much to Cameron Jerome, the former Norwich City striker, who's on commentary with Mark Wilson. They'll be back very shortly for the second half. Lots of energy, lots of effort being expelled from both sets of players, but we need to see more chances in front of goal. That old adage, I think a goal would certainly bring this one to life. At the break live on Talksport 2 from the Championship, with a point, it would be Preston North End heading into the top 6, and a point would take Blackburn 4 away from the drop zone, but both sides will be desperate to take all 3 at the break. Still goalless between Blackburn Rovers and Preston North End.
EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Got Big McDonald's hunger? The Big Arch is here to stay. Available from 11 a.m, subject to availability. Price and participation may vary.
It's the last chance to get yourself a ticket for Saturday's Lotto draw.
It could be you.
Lotto from the National Lottery. Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
I remember holding her for the first time. Now, I'm about to walk her down the aisle.
Moments like these deserve to be seen clearly. With the Vision Express Eye Care Plan, get 2 pairs from £5.70 a month, including 20% off and an advanced eye test. Vision Express. Step out with confidence. T&Cs apply. Interest-free loan subject to status. VE is a credit broker, not a lender. Representing Adaro Optics Limited. Authorised by the Financial Conduct Authority. Minimum 24-month term.
On average, Rift Tax refunds get their customers £3,000 back. Search Rift Tax refunds today.
Summer is calling. Book early for your trip to Turkey and get the most out of your holiday. Visit goturkeyair.com now and discover unforgettable experiences. Plan your summer getaway to Turkey today.
When you switch the family's unlimited plans to Vodafone, you save. So while Nan's learning to voice note,
can you hear this? Is this on?
You're saving. While your daughter's setting a new high score on her favourite game.
Get in!
You're saving. While your son's video calling his crush for 3 hours.
I love you more.
You're saving. Save more when you switch your family's plans to Vodafone with Vodafone Together. Eligible plans from the 30th of October. Credit check and terms apply.
Online, on DAB Plus, and on the app.
This is Talksport 2.
How to Win the World Cup is the podcast that breaks down football's biggest tournament with the people who've actually won it. Greats like Cleberson and Emmanuel Petit tell us what it really takes, all the while being interrupted by comedians like Alex Brooker, who's confident he could have done a better job himself. If you love the World Cup, this is the podcast for you. How to Win the World Cup, available now wherever you get your podcasts. No medals required.
The Talksport app. Yeah, it's the Talksport app. Swipe left for Talksport 2.
Und be first past the post mit Supersonic Live Horse Racing.
Swipe right for Talksport.
Meet unmissable live commentary of the biggest Europa and Champions League showdowns.
Alles klar.
Give your phone
the finger.
The Talksport app. What are you waiting for? Download it from your app store now.
Live Super League, Sunday afternoon from 3 on Talksport 2.
Short pass here, they're in!
Hear hard tackling, full match commentary of Huddersfield Giants versus Wakefield Trinity.
Lola here for the line, and Lola here scores.
Live Super League, Huddersfield Giants versus Wakefield Trinity, Sunday afternoon from 3 on Talksport 2.
It's the totally immersive football experience.
Right, put it on!
EFL Live on Talksport 2.
Yes, at the break here on Talksport 2, Blackburn Rovers 0, Preston North End 0. We need to see a little bit more from these two sides. It is a game that promised much, of course, and a big Lancashire derby. Still 45 minutes to go, but so far not too much by way of goal-mouth action. A chance at each end, and maybe both teams will feel unlucky that they didn't take those opportunities through Devine and Good Johnson. You're listening to EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. You can order delivery on the McDonald's app. It's from 11 a.m. 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery, subject to availability, and prices may vary. And just to bring you up to speed with the live scores this evening elsewhere in the Scottish Championship, goalless between Wraith Rovers and St Johnstone on 49 minutes, and a couple of games in the English Prem Rugby Cup. Gloucester 19, Sale 0, and Newcastle Red Bulls 7, Northampton Saints 28, just into the second half in those matches. And the live championship action continues tomorrow afternoon here on Talksport 2. League leaders Coventry City travel to relegation-threatened West Bromwich Albion. Now, on Monday night, Haji Wright was the hero as his hat-trick lifted the Sky Blues back into the top of the table. He joined Jeff Stelling. He hasn't done anything, don't worry, guys. Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoist on Talksport Breakfast earlier this week.
Super important. First versus second, top of the table clash. It was important to see who could come out on the end, and I'm happy we were able to take 3 points home.
I was going to say, you wouldn't have heard just before you came on, Haji, I mentioned the fact, terrific result. I wouldn't say it was a must-win game, but with Borough on a great run and yourselves maybe slipping ever so slightly, it was certainly a very important game, but no time to rest. West Brom away, Sheffield United away. It is one tough league, mate.
Yeah, definitely. Games come thick and fast. And like you said, it is just 3 points at the end of the day. It wasn't 100% must to win, but still we're happy with the 3 points. But yeah, on to West Brom now.
I know you're only interested in, Coventry's performance and your own performance, but did you get the feeling playing in that game that these are the best two teams in the division?
Yeah, it felt that way. We both wanted to go for it. We felt like it was going to be a difficult game. I think we both respected each other. And I think we both tried to cancel each other out. I think we just were able to execute our plan a bit better than they were able to execute theirs.
Had you tell me, mate, it's a club that I've watched over recent years, and I can't lie to you, I've had a great deal of sympathy for their fans just been getting, pulled from pillar to post, not having their own ground and all that stuff. But I just think it's fantastic to see the stability that you boys and Frank have brought to the team itself. The feeling within the team and the fan base at this moment in time must be just fantastic.
Yeah, ever since I arrived at the club, it's been amazing. Honestly, the support you get at every game, whether home or away, has been amazing. All of the behind the scenes stuff done by the people on the board and people upstairs has been great. And obviously, like you said, the team on the field has just been improving. So it's been great.
Hat-trick hero on Monday night, Hadji right there, of Coventry City. The Sky Blues go to West Brom live and exclusively on Talksport 2 tomorrow from 12:30. Ollie Klink, Joe Shannon and the former Liverpool forward Courtney Sweetman-Kirk are your commentary team. From 3 o'clock, we'll have Wrexham against Ipswich. Big game in terms of the playoff picture and automatic promotion, I guess. That's from 3 o'clock here. And then over on Talksport tomorrow, it's Game Day Live with Adrian Durham, Scott Minto and Dean Ashton from 1 p.m. All the goals as they go in the Premier League and EFL, including Brentford, Brighton, Chelsea, Burnley, Aston Villa against Leeds United as well. Our exclusive commentary on Talksport tomorrow from the Premier League is an 8 p.m. kickoff. Will we witness the latest twist in the Premier League title race as Manchester City host Newcastle United at the Etihad? On Sunday, we'll have the Steel City derby here on Talksport 2, Sheffield United against Sheffield Wednesday at midday. And from 1:30 over on Talksport, Game Day Live with Sam Matterface. They'll keep an eye on the North London derby as Spurs host Arsenal. So lots ahead of us this weekend. Let's hope there's a load ahead of us in the second half at Ewood Park. Goalless at the break between Blackburn Rovers and Preston North End. I'll leave you for the second half with the former Birmingham City striker Cameron Jerome and Talksport's Mark Wilson.
Cheers, Hugh. Just awaiting the two teams out here. The subs are going through intensive warm-ups, but no signs as yet we're going to get any changes at the break. Cameron, we were talking off air about, and you were saying that if you were Paul Heckingbottom, you think he might at some point in this second half go 2 up top.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just looking at their personnel at his disposal there and looking at how the game's sort of going out, unless it really opens up dramatically and it becomes quite expansive and, both sides are sort of going for it hell for leather, then the personnel what's on the pitch at the minute is probably not going to continue to work for him. So I'm looking at his options on the bench there. I'm looking at the likes of Callum Lang. How long's he got left in him this evening? I know he's coming back from injury, but has he got a good 25-30 minutes in it to come and impact the game? As do you go with someone like Michael Smith, who's really aggressive and a real good target man? Do you go more direct off him? I know you're going direct so far and you probably might not want to do, but if the game's forcing you to do that, you've got to sometimes play what the game gives you, and that might require somebody like him being on there and having two presences up there with Osmajic and that aggression and that aerial presence, and getting a little bit more of a foothold in the game and a platform to be able to build attacks from.
Well, we will see. Teams out for the second half then. Palace top in goal for Blackburn. A back four of Alabiosu, Carter, McLaughlin and Cashin. Tronstadt and Baraji in the middle with Pickering, Jorgensen and Morishita behind Andre Gudjonsson, who leads the line. For Preston, Cornell is the goalkeeper. It's Hughes, Story and Gibson at the back. Valentin, McCann, Whiteman, Devine and Vukovic up top. In midfield with Dobbin and Osmajic up top. Preston attacking from left to right then. All their fans behind the goal away to our right, and that Brian Douglas Darwin end as we're about to get underway here. Game of few chances. Remember, a point for Preston puts them in the top 6 tonight, and anything that Blackburn get extends their gap over the bottom 3. We're back underway here in the second half, and it's Preston who will knock the ball long and downfield. Osmajic beaten to it, ball cleared away, but it's picked up by Whiteman. Had a bit of time there. He played it forward in the air. It's headed away by Carter and picked up by McCann. Here now is Whiteman. They're popping off the passes, Preston, as they look to get an early foothold here in this match. They work down their left-hand side. They'll go back inside their own half, and now they'll spread it across to the near side, and Valentin was offering himself, but it'll go back to the goalkeeper. Cornell has not really had anything to do saves-wise. He's had a couple of crosses to deal with. Ball played forward, headed away by Blackburn, and they'll bring it down with Morishita, who's blocked by Whiteman. Good challenge. Osmajic tried to win it, beaten away from him. feel at times Preston just need to get it down. They just seem constantly heading it forward, where you feel they've had maybe a chance just to get that ball down and play it a little bit more.
Yeah, there's a little bit of composure there. Somebody just to take the sting out of it and not make it sort of like a game of head tennis, so to speak, and just have a little bit of composure. Can you bring it down? Can you just settle the ball and just find the pass? There's options there and there's bodies there, but like you said, it's just going back, heading it cleared by Blackburn, and Preston are punching it back in there. Somebody just to take a little bit of composure, a little bit of time, and just get it down and find that pass. Then you're away. There's acres of space out there.
Yeah, certainly is. Just got to use it. Ball played forward now by Blackburn. It's headed straight out of play. It's got that feeling of a tight game here, but I also feel if there was to be an early goal second half, it might just bring the game out of itself a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes games like this, they need that little bit of a spark, and a goal will certainly do that. And it's got the potential to be a cracking game, but we need action, we need goals for that to happen, and we need both sides to take the safety belt off and really go for it.
Yeah, that is a very good point. At the moment, there's so much at stake for both these two sides as the ball is brought to a halt because there's a foul right on halfway, right on the Blackburn right hand side on the halfway line, and they'll get the free kick and a chance to bring the ball forward, and they'll have it now as they feed it forward. The ball cut out and played forward by Preston. Bit of head tennis, McCann beaten to it. Morishita with a drop of the shoulder gets it a wide up to Pickering. Pickering now will play it forward. There's a chance to play him behind here, but the ball to Morishita was just a little bit too high, and he couldn't keep it in, and it's out for a throw into Preston. Still 0-0.
That's the first time Good Johnson's got one of those wrong, to be honest with you, tonight. His hold-up play and link-up play has been quite tidy and it's been quite neat, but just on that occasion he gets that pass out to Morishita horribly wrong, and it goes out for a throw from Preston.
Yeah, I think both front players can say they've not had a lot of ball to deal with, but they've done quite well with what they've had. The key is for both sides, get them involved a little bit more in this second half.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that is the case, and I think all four of the front players out there would fancy their chances at scoring goals given the correct service.
Well, here's Dobbin on the break, gets it wide onto the left-hand side. Plenty of fluorescent shirts forward, but once again the ball too deep, and he goes harmlessly out here. There's a player down injured on halfway as the referee comes forward to see. It's going to be Baradji, I think, that's gone down. Referee's just coming across to check he's okay on the halfway line, says the physio doesn't need to come on. But there, Dobbin had options, didn't he? Left, right and centre, went to the left and the play broke down.
Yeah, I mean, Dobbin picks up that ball in that sort of dangerous area there, sort of off the back four behind the midfielders, and he drives forward and he picks the correct pass, which is the man in space on the left-hand side, but it's just, unfortunately, another poor delivery into the box when, Preston were flooding the box with good numbers there.
Ball not long by Blackburn, headed back inside the opposing half. Osmajic tries to play it to Dobbin. He tried to nick it away from Pickering, who then slams it forward. It should be brought down, and is brought down by Preston. They'll get it away here, and here's Jordan Storey. Will swing it wide to Paul Valentin. Plays it forward, looking for Dobbin. Dobbin looking to turn his man, but just showed too much of it to Cashin, who did really well there. He's quite a small, stocky defender, but he's very strong, isn't he?
He's very deceptive, is Erin Cashin. You look at him and you think he's not as tall as some of the other centre-halves maybe in the league, but what he is very good at reading the game. He's good at stepping out with the ball, but he's very aggressive and very strong. He's very, very difficult to sort of manoeuvre when he gets his body in there. He's got a good low centre of gravity.
Yeah, Dobbin on the turn there would have been a handful, but he was all over it. As the ball played forward by Carter, there's a slip at the back, but it's hooked away over Jordan Storey's shoulder and out for a throw into Blackburn. 0-0 if you just switched on. We're into the second half. 5 gone here at Ewood Park. And now a chance for Carter to drive forward. He'll lay it out wide on the right-hand side. He's got options. Alviosu plays it down the line. Baradji will hold it up. There are 3 Blackburn players waiting in the D on the edge of the area. The ball is right over on the far touchline side. Trying to work an opening there. Was there a pull on the shirt? There was. It's a cheap free kick. Preston thought they were on the break there, but they turned around, and now Blackburn can send the defenders up from the back.
Yeah, you got your 3 big centre-halves coming up here in Cashin, Carter and McLaughlin. Can Blackburn put in a good delivery? You've got Good Johnson and Yorkson in there, so they've got some presence there from this free kick. Can they get the delivery right? That's the key here. Can they get a really good ball into the box and test this Preston back line?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? And it's one that's going to be answered now as the ball going to be delivered from the far side. They're looking here to swing it in. And a chance for Blackburn Rovers to break the deadlock on Derby Day, or Derby night here in Lancashire. Preston holding a really high line, about 22 yards out from goal. Here comes the delivery, left-footed, going to be swung in towards the penalty area. It's a decent delivery. They're queuing up at the far post, and on the volley it's up goal bound, but it didn't have the pace on it from Morishita, and in the end it's comfortably saved. But that was a better ball in, much better there. Like you said, Preston had a really, really high line. I love to see that from teams being really brave, because it makes the ball have to be absolutely spot on for it to get ahead of it for the opposition. But great ball in from Blackburn, and unlucky there, made first contact but just couldn't quite materialise a chance from the second ball there. Yeah, it was half a chance though. Yeah, it certainly was. Yeah, here now come Preston. They've got some bodies forward there. Well, Jordan Storey there has got a simple 10-yard pass to feed Paul Valentine, and he's just hit it 5 yards behind him and into touch. Yeah, I must have my eyes fixed down at the dugout there to see the reaction of the manager. I'm looking at his options there, who's out warming up and what he can do, and I'm just wondering how long he really leaves this then before he goes, you know what, we need to win. A draw's not good enough for us here. Yeah, and with the greatest will in the world, as okay as Blackburn has been, there's not a great deal coming back the other way, is there? No. You're taking a massive risk to win this game. Absolutely not. If it was... Well, that's a bit of a dodgy back header there. That was Andrew Hughes who headed it up in the air, and Cornell has got him out of trouble there, because Hughes was worried that Blackburn were going to nick him behind, and he managed with his goalkeeper to smuggle the ball away from danger. Yeah, poor back pass there. He doesn't get quite enough purchase on it, but luckily for him, the goalkeeper's in a really high starting position, and he comes out and tidies it up and spares his teammates blushes there. Still 0-0. Ball given away. Won back temporarily by McCann. Ball up to halfway though, and that'll be out for a throw into Blackburn Rovers. Referee giving that decision. Paul Higginbottom is looking around. I think we get, as you said, I think we're going to get some changes here. We've just seen a couple of the attacking players called back to the bench. Looks like Jefferson has come back there. I'm not sure if he's getting any instructions. Well, there's movement for sure. We'll find out in a moment. Ball played into the edge of the Preston area. Cornell out quickly again, regathers it, and he now will look to just bowl it out over on the far side. 0-0 here. Like you said, Mark, there earlier, just touching on what you said, there's not a great deal coming back, and Blackburn are not the most expansive side, so there's not that much danger of really risking it and getting stung at the other end. But a team in Preston's situation and position, trying to go for that playoff place, you've got to take the impetus to this Blackburn side. Yeah, well, they're driving forward now. Ball out of play far side. They thought they were going to get a free kick there. Andrew Hughes it was, who's been bombing on from the back. And we are about to see, I think it's Jamal Lewis who's coming on. Thierry Small about to come on as well. So a double change here, but maybe not the one we were expecting. So they're both ready to go. We'll find out who's coming off in a minute. Referee's going to let play continue here. They could have made the change there. I think the fourth official was wanting to make the change. But the ball now back in play, so Preston will have to wait. Here's a chance now, Osmajic back to goal, hooks it across the face of the 18-yard box. It's a difficult bouncing ball, and it's played forward. Looking to try and get on it was Jorgensen. Ball played back. Here now is Devine, slips, and now the break is on. Temporarily it was 3 against 3, but Gudjonsson just held on to it. Now he'll feed it out wide on the Blackburn right-hand side. Preston getting plenty of bodies back. Alabiosu's off on a mazy run. He's putting a decent ball into the box. Valentin held onto it for too long and eventually stabs it back to his keeper. Blackburn are appealing for a back pass. Valentin's got out of trouble there. He wanted time to make a cup of tea and have a sandwich at the far post. Yeah, he's closed his back on playing. He's not known what, I think it's Pickering there, what's behind him. But Pickering, if he gambles earlier, if he gambles that split second earlier, maybe he can catch Valentin napping there. Yeah, maybe. Wasn't to be. Now, game you feel just starting to open up a little bit. Ball played down the channel looking for Dobbin. Hacked away towards halfway. Good header in the end from Storey. Ben Whiteman will recycle possession. Now he'll get it away to Hughes. Hughes over halfway. 11 gone second half. You're live on Talksport 2. There was a chance there. Osmajic was in behind. He's turned, got him away. Was there a pull back? He's not protested too much. He went down. The pass just a fraction too strong.
Yeah, it looked like it was a strong pass in there. It just looked like it was out of his reach. He couldn't quite gather it in and turn, but you could see what he was trying to do. He was trying to pin the defender and turn in one movement. Like you say, not too much protested in terms of a foul, but I'm not quite sure if the defender had hold of his shirt and then just let go at the right time.
Yeah, maybe. Ball on halfway. Blackburn have it. Still, Jamal Lewis and Thierry Small are stood on the touchline waiting to come on. Morishita drives forward for Blackburn down the left-hand side. Still 0-0 here. Plays the ball in. Driven in across goal. And it's away for a throw-in. But just for a moment there, Preston looked like they'd switched off. They didn't follow the runner into the box. And here come the two changes. And it is going to be...
the two full-backs, I'm saying.
Yeah, Vukovic.
Yeah, their delivery's been poor.
So Vukovic will come off.
And so will Valentin.
Yeah, well, you called it.
Yeah, I just feel like it's a smart play as well. It gives you a little bit more athleticism going forward with Jamal Lewis as well and Thierry Small. I feel like maybe it's a little bit of it is a positive change in terms of an attacking one, but maybe the thinking behind that is, can we push them back a little bit more and get a little bit more territory, have more athleticism in them wide areas and hopefully better delivery.
Well, that would be the plan, wouldn't it? And they're certainly, as you said, both athletic players. But there's a bit of defending to be done first. And that defending is going to have to be done by by Preston. Blackburn on the attack, 0-0 at Ewood Park. The Ronnie Clayton Blackburn end are looking on. Are they going to get a goal down that end? Looking to build on that 3-1 win at Queen's Park Rangers at the weekend. Ball thrown in, it flicks off Johnson, and it's gathered by Cornell, who quickly sprints out to the edge of his area. He wanted to get it going quickly, he couldn't, so just bowl it out, and Preston will come forward again. Well, already you can see that Thierry Small is playing as an out-and-out winger, isn't he, on this near side? He's in an advanced position. As much credit to him, he's running around, he's darting in, making runs in behind, but they're not really getting their head up at the moment.
No, the connection and the timing's just not quite there between Osmajic and the midfielders or the wing-backs there. He's being honest and he's keeping the defenders on his toes with his movement. But
here's a chance up the other end. Will it fall for Johnson? He had two players with him and he couldn't get it out of his feet. It was Carter who made a great run from the back. And here's Thierry Small, like an Olympic sprinter, herring off down the touchline, looking for support. It arrives and Preston have it. The game is starting to open up a little bit here. Blackburn are getting a little bit more adventurous going forward and Preston are trying to respond in kind. Ball on halfway. Preston, a point puts them in the top six. Wrexham Ipswich tomorrow, live on Talksport 2 at 3 o'clock. Ball on the halfway line. And Preston just happy to have the ball at the moment. Remains 0-0. Approaching the hour mark. Paul Heckingbottom has made his first two tactical changes, and the signs are it's going to get Preston a little bit more ball higher up the field. Whiteman tries to feed it to Dobbin. He lays it back to McCann, pokes it wide for Hughes. Hughes advances forward, then comes back. And the ball works its way out onto that left touchline. And it's good play here from Preston. Patient build-up. Now can they put something on the end of it? Thierry Small waits midway inside the opposition half. He'll get it back. Well, it's patient at the moment. They're not quite finding that final pass, Preston, but you just get the feeling now they've got a little bit more attacking. They've made the pitch a lot wider, haven't they?
Yeah, they certainly have. They've made that pitch really, really wide. You can see Jamal Lewis on that left-hand side. He's hugging the touchline. And as you mentioned, Thierry Small on this side, really being tight to the touchline this near side as well, and making darting runs in behind. They've not quite got him into the game as much so far, but the intention is definitely there. You can see the game plan.
Yeah, you can. And here now is a chance to get Small down this near side. Gets it, corner of the penalty area. What can he produce? Paul, his left foot shoots, deflected, and it's just wide of the target. But already the attacking intent from Paul Heckingbottom's side has gone up. Small's effort deflected out for a corner.
Yeah, and it's no coincidence that it's those guys what have come onto the football pitch, what are making that instant impact there. Thierry Small just getting the ball in the wide area and putting in a good delivery, which is deflected for a corner.
Right, what can Whiteman deliver from here? In front of all those travelling fans. They were beaten at home by Blackburn. Can they inflict a defeat on enemy territory here? 61 on the clock. Whiteman to deliver the corner. It's whipped in towards the far post. It almost fell on the volley and the potential break was on, but it was swept up by Small, and he finds Lewis. The two substitutes linking up, but the pass couldn't be controlled, and it's out for a throw, and Preston's attack comes to nothing. Still 0-0.
So disappointing there. So disappointing. Picks up between Hughes and Lewis there, but you know, you've got possession of the football in the wide area, 10 yards away unopposed, and it's just details. It's the detail what's been missing, that quality, and you've given him the ball, you know, when he's going the opposite way and it's just come off his foot and gone out for a Blackburn throw, and you've let them off the hook there once again.
They have. They would like a bit of quality. What can they produce here? Brilliant. That's a nice pass. Now a chance to drive into the area. That's going out for a corner kick. A corner for Preston. Divine it was on the attack down the left-hand side, and it's behind. Blackburn not happy with the award of a corner, but that is what the decision is. It is a corner and an opportunity here for the visitors to get the first goal of the night. Get the feeling a goal is coming.
Yeah, definitely. There's one brewing there. I can sense it. I feel like the energy and the tempo of the match has just increased slightly since those substitutions especially, but you know, it is sort of transitioning into a little bit of a
ball whipped in, it skims off ahead, it might fall for Whiteman, edge of the area, heads it back in, trying to bring it down on the edge of the penalty area, trying to backheel it into the box. It's not cleared, and here now is Small down the right hand side of the penalty area, lays it back for Dobbin. Dobbin goes past one, tries to whip the ball in, it spins away and it should be kept in. It's played. That's a really poor clearance, falls to Whiteman. He invites the shot from McCann. McCann just rolls it out of his feet back to Small. Preston laying siege, ball in towards the far post, headed away. It'll fall to McCann, heads it back in, flicked on by Story and hacked away. Well, Preston are really starting to up it now. These changes no doubt have made a big impact for Paul Heckingbottom's side. Good challenge, Alabiosu, ball out for a throw in far side. 0-0, 63 gone.
Yeah, definitely those substitutions are starting to make a real impact. Thierry Small here has picked up the ball in one or two dangerous situations. He's chopped back in onto his left-hand side and he's putting two really good balls into the box. Certainly what's been missing throughout the game so far, but he's not frightened to go at people 1v1, and he's not frightened to get out of his feet and put it in either.
Well, Jamal Lewis has just won a free kick over on the far side. He was pulled back, did really well. He didn't. You just expecting him there to make a silly foul and let Blackburn out. He didn't. He just held his ground, and in the end it was him who got fouled, and this is really dangerous. 25 yards out, right on the far touchline.
I think it's one of the first times as well where you've seen that sustained pressure from either team, and it's no coincidence that Preston have got Blackburn a little bit worried down there. They're back forward, they're making clumsy clearances, they're making rash decisions. Can this result in a Preston chance and this opening goal?
Let's find out. You're live on Talksport 2. Cameron Jerome, League Cup winner with Birmingham alongside us tonight. Ball going to be swung in front of that Riverside stand that is sparsely populated over on the far side. Ball whipped in towards goal, and it might go all the way in. It hit the post. It bounced in front of the goalkeeper and it hit the outside of the post and went to safety. I'm not sure Bolish Top knew a great deal about that. Blackburn survived.
Delicious delivery from Alfred Devine. On that left-hand side on his right foot, he's whipped in the most sensational ball what's gone across everybody. There's runners across the knee and no one manages to get a touch, and the goalkeeper can't react until it's too late and it just hits the post and goes out for a goal kick. But much better from Preston, and that's the type of balls what those centre forwards out there will live off. That's what I would have wanted. Put it in the mixer across the corridor and someone should be there in the end of it.
Yeah, inches away from giving the lead. Ball played forward. Hughes wins the header deep inside his own half, then hooks it out of play, throwing for Blackburn. Well, at what point does Michael O'Neill respond? Does he make changes, or is he happy? I would imagine he's getting a little bit hot under the collar now, because they are starting to have a lot of defending to do.
Yeah, definitely. Preston have just upped the ante in this last 10-15 minutes, and like I said, they're having sustained pressure now, so Blackburn need to try and find a way to counteract that and get out and up the pitch themselves.
Well, they had a chance there with Pickering, but he, after the referee played advantage, going to have to, again, nice skill. Well, you mentioned it about Aaron Cash, and He's comfortable on the ball. That was a slightly risky ball across the face of the field, but he gets it out to that far side, and forward come Blackburn. Well, can they break the deadlock? They've been on the back foot second half, but they've had a couple of forays forward that have proven to be dangerous, but we still await the first goal here. And now an opportunity out wide for Morishita. He plays it. He might looking for the flick round the corner. Johnson lays it off. Got his gloves on. I think it was particularly that cold tonight, but he's got his gloves on. And the ball now in the centre circle with Sean McLaughlin, who looks to get it away. Cashin puts the ball in. There was a slip on the far post. It'll fall all the way out there, and there's a chance out for the cross-come shot, and it's a good save there from Cornell. Really called into action with a low-angled shot from just 6 yards out.
Yeah, it needed to be saved. It did. It looked like it was a cross-come shot there by Jorgensen, looking for his strike partner in the middle there, Johnson. Goalkeeper did really, really well just to cover that near post and parry the ball to safety.
It's number 23.
Well, Yuki Ahashi is coming on for Johnson. I'm not sure he's done a great deal wrong, Johnson. He just has enough of the ball, has he?
Yeah, but I think he's got to do something, like you said, when does Michael O'Neill make a change and react, and I think this is the reaction. Ohashi, I think, is a more of a busy type of player. He doesn't sort of necessarily play up against defenders. He sort of plays in that pocket and looks to get off the shoulder, and I think he's a little bit different profile in terms of what Johnson is, and maybe he can give them that little bit more of a spark.
Maybe. Well, we're going to find out. It is still 0-0 here on Derby night. Live EFL action on your home of the EFL, Talksport 2. And we've got more of it to come tomorrow as well. From 12:30 at the Hawthorns as West Brom take on leaders Coventry. And Wrexham take on Ipswich at 3 o'clock. That's live on Talksport 2. Ball played down the channel, looking to get in behind here, a Blackburn down their right-hand side. Going to whip the ball in from round the touchline side, and he might fall in for the shot that's blazed over the top. And that was half a chance for Baraji, who smashed it. And it goes just over the top. Well, you said earlier, if you don't shoot, you don't score. Baraji there, let fly. And it's just over the top.
Real good technique there by Baraji. The ball just spills out to him at the edge, and he just takes that couple of strides and comes onto the ball. Real good technique, head over the ball, catches it at its highest point. Really unlucky with the strike. It just goes inches over the crossbar there, but real good attack that Blackburn, much better.
Well, more changes. Daniel Jebison and Callum Lang thrown into the action. Jamal Lewis over on that far side, so they really are putting an attacking threat off now as Majic, one of the players to make way as well. What do we make of those latest changes? Jebison and Lang.
Yeah, I think he needs to do something there, Heckingbottom. I think, the front two that wasn't quite getting into the game, and Blackburn, over the last couple of minutes, looked like they've managed to ride that storm. So, it's a smart move by Heckingbottom, and just freshens it up a little bit as well. Something different dimension. 25 minutes to go.
Here's a chance now down the left-hand side of the box. Preston man goes down, referee's having none of it. Break could be on here, break is on, and here now is a big chance. Ball squared in front of the goalkeeper, comes out and he saved it. Cornell denies Morishita. He was clean in on goal, but the pass was just overhit, and Cornell saves the day for Preston North End. Still 0-0.
Wow, big let off that for Preston. I'm just looking at the replay there. I'm actually quite not sure the pass is actually that bad. I think the goalkeeper's just in a really aggressive high starting position. He just reads it really well. I think he reads it more than anything.
Yeah, he does. Is that a free kick? Referee's going to... strong challenge went in there from Callum Lang. That was after the referee blew the whistle. Now he's going to get booked, and that's not even what the free kick was for. So Callum Lang into the action. He's booked straight away.
Yeah, I'm not sure he needs to make that tackle there. I think it's a little bit reckless from Lang there. Obviously, the referee's already blown and give the free kick. I'm sure him being that close can hear the whistle going. I think he's just left one on the Blackburn defender there. I think that's quite a nasty, reckless tackle, but it's certainly got these supporters out of their seats, intentionally or not.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, it feels like in Derby now, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I wish this was the first half and we were starting all over again, but it took 65 minutes for it to spring into life. But both sides now throwing a little bit more caution to the wind. Some good attacking substitutions from both sides, so hopefully, plenty of plenty of willingness from both sides to go and try and win the game. Actually, no one's sat back and been safe and playing for a point here. They're both, like I said, throwing caution to the wind and going for it now.
Yeah, you are listening to EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m. 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery orders, subject to availability. Prices may vary. Blackburn with a free kick then. Can they find an opening here? Ball going to be delivered now towards the far corner of the box, headed away by Preston, out for a throw-in. We're into the final 19 minutes here. A point, not the worst result for either side, but both trying to get all three here in a keenly contested derby that at times has lacked quality, but second half certainly has created more chances. Throwing for Blackburn, about 15 yards away from the corner flag. Baraji plays it forward. It's overrun, but it's gone out off Hughes. Another throw-in for Blackburn Rovers. It's all to play for. Ball down. Oh, that's a poor bit of play from Blackburn. They had it down by the byline, and they've just thrown it straight out of play. And now Preston will make yet another change. This is Luga Offia coming on, and he's coming on for Andrew Hughes. So he did play in the back three last week, didn't he, Offia? So he's maybe going to play there, but again, he's another athlete that can get up and down the pitch.
Yeah, and I think Hughes, with his experience, I think it's maybe a smart move by the manager starting him in a game of this magnitude. If you notice, his team selection was quite, I wouldn't say pragmatic, but it was quite safe. You could see as the game's gone on and it's starting to open up a little bit, he's put on the younger sort of lads who he maybe can't trust fully, but he can say, you know what, here's 35 minutes, go and win us a game of football.
Yeah, that looks to be the case. Yeah, it's in the balance. Whiteman plays it away out from the back. Ball long and downfield, looking to try and get Small involved. He feeds it into the edge of the box. Well, Preston hit the post from the set piece, but now the break on here, and they're trying to get Jorgensen away. Jorgensen driving towards the box. He's got two in the middle. If he can find a cross, he does find a cross, and he evades all three of them. There were three Blackburn players waiting to put it in the back of the net, and two of them got in each other's way. An open goal goes begging. Michael O'Neill applauds the attacking intent. Jorgensen's ball in. Oh, Cameron Jerome, you'd have loved to have been on the end of that pass.
You know what? That's amazing combination play by the two forwards. Ohashi just gets it in the pocket there in the halfway line, and he drives. He releases Jorgensen, who makes a darting run into the channel, who tries to find him on the return with a low cross, and it looks like it just gets behind. Oh, he just nicks it off him. It looks like it's just nicked off him by his own teammate there. What just takes it away from him, whereas he's about to tap it into an open goal.
Yeah, that was close. That was close.
Oh, just looking at that replay there, I think it's Baraji. I think he's took it off him. I think he's just stretching at it. He's made a similar run across the near post, and I think he's inadvertently just touched it off his toes as he's approaching the 6-yard box, about to tap it in.
Yeah, well,
best chance of the game, that so far.
Yeah, certainly was. Huge chance.
But that's what I was saying about a different profile to Gudjonsson or Hashi. What he brings you there, where he drops into them pockets, he gets it, he combines, and he drives forwards. He's very, very clever with his movement, and he's quite sharp as well.
Ball diagonally forward, was well read at the back. That was good defending from Blackburn. They allow it to roll out for a goal kick. 74 gone. You're live on Talksport 2. Game Day Live with Adrian Durham and the gang around the grounds. All the goals as they go in on another action-packed day. And don't forget, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, live and exclusive on Talksport, Manchester City Newcastle is our live and exclusive Premier League offering.
Really, really impressed with this Blackburn reaction, you know. For that first 15 minutes of that second half, they had to sustain a little bit of pressure, and, you know, Preston really looked like they was ramping it up a little bit, but they've stood tall, Blackburn have, and they've countered Preston, and they look like the ones in the ascendancy and the ones who are looking most likely at the minute.
Yeah, well, you never know. In fairness, since they brought on the attackers of Jebison and Lang, they've not really had any attacking. Oh, now that's going to be I would have said that was going to be a free kick and a yellow card, but the referee's happy to let that play go on. Just a free kick on halfway. What was your take on that one?
Yeah, I think it is a foul. I think he's just beat him to the ball there, the Blackburn attacker, and I think it wasn't malicious in terms of the tackle. I think he's just pinched it off his toes, as you say. It's a soft one, and it's in a non-dangerous area, so I'm happy for the referee not to give a yellow card there. He's just disrupted the attack, nothing more for me.
0-0 going into the final 14 minutes here at Ewood Park, and it is still all to play for. Ball played forward by Blackburn, but Cornell has made a couple of vital interactions in this second half. He's out quickly, gets it away on the far side. Offield will bring it forward. Who's going to be brave and go out and win it? It's still up for grabs as now the ball over the top. Small the target. It's going to run away from him. It'll be out for a throw in about 15 yards away from the corner flag in the Blackburn left back position. All played forward by Ahashi, and now it might be a chance on the break. Jemison though is just a little bit too slow. Then he thought he won it back, then he's dispossessed. Ball going forward here with Baraji. Alabioso outside him. Tried to play it through. He's overhit that. He needed a soft 7-iron, and he's got the driver out and drilled it straight at the keeper.
Yeah, it's a poor choice of pass there and execution. I feel like he could just give a simple pass there to his teammate, who's made a great little overlap on the right hand side, and I think he's gone for an intricate one into the forwards, which has not been read, and he's overhit it into the keeper, like you said.
Yeah. Ball played forward by Preston. I have to say Blackburn at the moment looking the most likely as they play it forward. Ohashi trying to get on the end of this one. He can't keep it in, and it goes out for a throw in. I guess at what point here I guess Blackburn at home are going to chase the game and try and get all 3 points, but at what point do Preston say, look, we're away from home here, we've got a point, let's not lose that point?
I don't think they are doing that. I think his intentions with his substitutions told you he's going to go and try and win this game. I think both teams are now trying to win this game. I think nobody's sat back just trying to be content with a point. I feel like it's there for anybody. It's still there. It's still hanging in the balance of the game. There's no sort of constant pressure or consistent pressure where you're thinking, oh, we're hanging on a bit here, we need to dig in.
Well, there's a chance now from the Blackburn left. The cross is blocked. Morishita, his effort defended behind for a corner. Blackburn on the attack again. Ball about to be delivered. Blackburn have got 4 players on the penalty spot. Now they all spread out and firing towards the 6-yard box. Headed, beaten away by the keeper. Follow up, and it's Small who clears it. What a save that was from Cornell. He would have seen it late. In fairness to him, it was straight at him.
Yeah, just pure reactions and instinct there by the goalkeeper. Brilliant. Makes himself big and just gets that big hand to it and parries it away. I think it's a flip from the near post here from the Blackburn forward. I can't say what his, but yeah, brilliant from the goalkeeper there.
Yeah, it was indeed. I think there's a few complaints, because I think the ball boy actually ran on the field, before it had gone out of play. We complained earlier on about the ball boys not getting it on quick enough, and then he was too quick.
Yeah, over eager there by the ball boys. Maybe they've had a ticking off earlier about being a little bit slow and getting 2 balls on the pitch. So I think you can feel the momentum changing, actually, to be fair. It's a drop ball. It has to be a Blackburn ball because someone else has touched the ball.
Yeah, ball headed forward by Preston. Oh, the break for a moment was on. Devine couldn't find Jebison. All played away by Jamal Lewis. It comes off Carter and it's out for a throw-in to Preston.
Just looking down at the technical area there, you've seen Michael O'Neill's looking really, really relaxed there. I think he's very happy in terms of the response from his Blackburn side the second half. When Preston started to turn the screw a little bit, I think Blackburn have showed great character and commitment to take the game back to Preston.
Yeah, they certainly have. But it remains without a goal. We're into the final 10 on Talksport 2. Ball coming forward again. Well, we've got the EFL's rainbow ball, a symbol of the league's ongoing commitment to ensuring football is a welcoming, safe and inclusive space for every supporter in every stadium. Are we going to see it in the back of the net? That's the question. 10 remaining. Ewood Park. Not really had any stoppages either. There's not going to be a great deal of added on time, you wouldn't feel. That ball came off, well, I thought that came off Small last, but the referee and the linesman on the near side not having any of that. And it's played forward here and given away by Small, who made a good impact when he came on, but he's just not had any of the ball. And I think that's fair play to Blackburn, isn't it? They've really turned this game around. Just when it looked like it was getting out of their control, they've made changes and they've impacted the game.
Yeah, really good tactical changes by the manager. He's counteracted the Preston changes with changes of his own, and it seems to be working in Blackburn's favour, and the game seems to be tipping in their favour at the minute. If anyone's going to score a goal at the minute,
well, it's kept in at the far post here by Small. It falls edge of the penalty area. Here's Small's got it again. Couple of dancing steps, whips in the ball towards the far post, and it's too deep. And once again, the lack of quality. Baraji's down injured on the near side. Referee will stop play here, and we will get a stoppage in play. Physio is wanting to come on. Baraji's hobbling towards the sideline, and the Blackburn officials are just having a word with him. Paul Heckingbottom and Stuart McCall having a word with their team. It remains 0-0. We've got 8 minutes left. Are we going to get a winner, Cameron?
Well, I'd like to be positive and say yes, but, you know, we've been severely let down by the lack of quality from both sides and lack of clear-cut chances on both parts. So, you know, it's still there, and it is still open for anybody to take the game by the scruff of the neck, and it could be a mistake or it could be a moment of quality. You know, both sides believe they can win, and both sides are trying to win. So, you know, it's no lack of effort, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, we're just waiting play to resume here. It will come courtesy of a goal kick from Blackburn Rovers, who with this will go 4 points above the drop zone. Steel City Derby on Sunday. Early start for that one on Talksport 2. Will the Blades relegate the Owls? Live on Talksport 2. All played forward by Preston. It's all got a bit scrappy. I think Baraji's gone down again here. I think he's going to have to come off.
Yeah, I think he's just buying a little bit of time there. I think he came over and hobbled over to this near touchline, and they told him just to sort of get back out there, and he was sort of getting the subs ready to come on. But yeah, he's putting a good shift, to be fair, tonight.
And Baraji is going to make way. And it's Christy Montgomery who comes on.
And replacing number 3, Harry Pickering.
And Harry Pickering will make way. And it is.
Please welcome number 21, Dapo Afolayan.
And it is Dapo Afolayan who comes on then for his taste of Ewood Park football. Is he going to be the Derby Day hero? Maybe. We're about to find out. We've got 7 minutes left here. Still 0-0. You are listening to EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's order delivery on the McDonald's app from 11 a.m. 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery orders subject to availability. Price may vary. Ball inside the Blackburn half. Who's going to be the hero? Strong challenge goes in there to concede a throw in. I think if Blackburn were to nick it at the end, I think you'd have to say they've
deserved it,
haven't they? They've been a better team, haven't they? Certainly the last half an hour.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, the reaction they showed after Preston started to up the ante and turn the screw at the beginning of the second half, you know, it'll definitely please the manager that. And, you know, if they start putting in performances like this and how they played in the last 30 minutes, if they can translate that to longer periods of time and more games, then they'll be okay.
In down the back, and it was the new boy Afolayan who blazed it across goal. I think he was offside anyway. It wouldn't have counted. But that was a bit of a blast, wasn't it, from the new boy?
Yeah, he's got a little bit eager there just to get in and just not timed his run quite right. But it was a poor delivery anyway, and he's not quite caught it right, and it's gone out at the other side of the box.
Yeah, former West Ham youngster Afolayan, been at St. Pauli in Germany. He's joined, makes another appearance. Blackburn try to let this ball roll out, and now they're going to have to deal with it there. They maybe could have headed that clear. They'll play it forward towards the halfway line where Jorgensen will be beaten in the air. Blackburn attack again down this near side. The ball won back by Preston. Well, is it going to be a moment of magic, or is it going to be a error that will determine the outcome of this game, or are we going to be locked at 0-0? A point, as I said, would lift Preston into the top 6. It would also ease Blackburn away from the bottom 3. So it's a valuable point, but 3 would be a whole lot better heading into the weekend.
Yeah, a point probably does no one any favours, to be honest with you.
Well, that's a great ball from the back. Here is Afolayan into the area. He's gone down in the box. He's gone down. He got straight back up. He stands up the cross. Danger not yet averted. It's picked up on the edge of the area. Chance for the shot. Wholehearted effort. And it's blocked, and it goes behind for another Blackburn corner. Montgomery just on from the bench. His shot well blocked by Preston.
Yeah, he seems to go back down there, and he bounces straight back up. All credit to him. I'm not sure if it was a foul, and I'm not sure if it did occur inside the box or it was just slightly outside, but fair play to the attacker there. You like to see that. He just bounced back up and gone with it. As soon as he didn't see the referee going for the whistle, he bounced back up and put a ball in there for his team, and it was cleared out, and Blackburn forced the corner for a shot.
Yeah, they certainly did. Now they've got a corner. Can they win it with a set piece? Ball cleared away by the first man. It'll fall edge of the penalty area. They'll play it out wide. They've got a player on the right to put the cross in. Edge of the penalty box. They're going to whip it in. It's too deep. It's too deep, and it goes sailing out harmlessly. And that was a chance. I think it was Afolayan who's whipped it in. He's over-kicked it, and it's behind for a goal kick. We have 3 minutes of the 90 remaining. There's not going to be too much added on time either here.
No, I can't remember where the game, other than the substitution, where the game's had a period of time where it stopped. Yeah,
that was it, wasn't it? And that wasn't long, was it, in fairness to him?
No, he couldn't wait to get off the pitch quick enough.
I know.
He's probably in the showers at the minute, getting himself off.
Yeah. Are we going to get late drama? It's the Championship, it's the EFL, anything can happen. We know, we've learned to expect that over the years here on the Talksport network. But Preston, have they got one late attack in them? At the moment, it's not looking that way, but they brought on the likes of Jebison and Lang to try and win it late on. All played out to the near side. There's Devine. Not seen enough of him second half. He's on it now. Looks to provide a crossfield pass. It's a risky one, but it pays off. Now there's a chance for Jamal Lewis. McCann inside him. There are 4 luminous green shirts waiting on the edge of the box. The Preston fans almost roaring them to just go forward, just have a go. Now they'll play it down the channel. Devine won't get on the end of it. And I think that's the frustration for those Preston fans. Not that they're not having a go, but they're not creating anything at the moment.
No, absolutely not. And I think, like you say, they've travelled in their numbers here across to Blackburn, and they probably don't even mind going down fighting, but look like you're fighting going down, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely it does.
They're going out with a whimper at the minute, and it's just been that lack of quality. I know we'll keep harping on about it, but they're finding themselves in some fantastic positions all night long, and whether it's a cross into the box or whether it's that final pass to slip somebody through for a run, it's just been really, really, really poor.
Well, the keeper's gone down here, David Cornell. Now, I don't recall him being involved in the last 5 minutes or so this is a pretty late tactical break, isn't it? There's only 2 minutes left. Well, not even that, a minute left. Unless he's picked up a knock that we've not seen, but he's up on his feet. The Blackburn fans are not happy with that at all.
Yeah, I didn't quite see any incidents there what would require him to have treatment. So, you know what it's like with some of these managers and coaches. They like to get on extra information to players, and that's probably one of the only ways you can do it is by a goalkeeper going down and a stopping play. He doesn't have to leave the field, and you can potentially get your message across.
Yeah, potentially. Well, it's a goal kick for Blackburn. Played long and forward. We still await the first goal. Blackburn, well, their fans will be hoping there's a bit of added on time, because if there is going to be a winner, it looks like it'll be a Blackburn winner. 5 added on minutes. Well, we're into it now. 5 minutes to go for Blackburn to get a win that will lift them 6 off the bottom 3. Here's Afolayan. He's got to be strong. He's not strong. He's lost out. Jebison lays it back. Preston now looking to come forward. Here's Small. Got plenty of bodies in front of him. He's fouled, and that'll be a free kick. And that's a yellow card for Aaron Cashin. I'm not Well, I'm not sure that was a yellow card challenge, but the referee's giving him one anyway.
Yeah, I think he's coming with a little bit of force there, and I can sort of see the referee's pointing, giving a booking there. He looks to move the ball, does small, and he sort of looks to skip by Cash in there, and I think he does stop maybe him getting a bit of momentum and a dangerous attack there.
Yeah, well,
but it's a good foul to give away. I don't mind that, right on the touchline, stop him in his tracks, because the last thing he wants is that winger running at him with pace.
Yeah.
As direct and as quick as he is.
Yeah, the last thing that Molesh Tot wants is the ball whipped into his penalty area in the added on time. What can they do here? Preston waiting. Referee's being a bit picky on the edge of the box. Blackburn holding a high line this time. They hit the post from a set piece earlier on in the second half. What can Devine do from here? Whips in a ball deep. Keeper's coming to get it. Keeper doesn't get it. Bouncing around and it's hammered away from goal. I think it might have been Cashin who had the touch to get it away. Well, the keeper went wandering there and he did not look convincing.
He didn't look convincing in the first half either. He had one or two shaky moments at the start of the game, and there's 2 balls on the pitch again.
There you go.
Cheeky ball boys, eh?
Yeah. Might be a bit tactical now.
Yeah.
Just trying to stop any momentum. We've played 2 of the minimum 5 added on. You're live on Talksport 2. A reminder, we've got a plethora of EFL and Premier League commentaries across the weekend. Blackburn win it. Have they got a free kick? They have, just short of the halfway line. There might be a late chance for them to snatch it.
You can see the big centre halves there. They're signalling for the goalkeeper to take it, and they're going to go up for this free kick here and try and snatch a late winner.
Well, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? Ball's going to be knocked by the keeper, Molesh Tot, who made a couple of good saves in the first half. We await the free kick to be taken. 2.5 of the minimum 5 added on have been played. It's Derby Day in Lancashire, but at the moment it's petering out unless someone can find a late winner. Will it be Preston on the break as they clear the ball? Oh, that pass, if it had found its target, needed to go aerial, it didn't, and now Blackburn put it back into the box. It'll go all the way out for a throw in near side. Fine margins, Cameron Jerome, but at neither side quite done enough to win it.
No, definitely not. I think a draw is probably the right result here. I think there's been a severe lack of quality from both sides, and I think without having any real openings or clear-cut chances, I think it'd be harsh to say one side deserves to win over the other.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Referee telling them to get on with it. We've got 90 seconds. Probably had more stoppages in stoppage time than we had during the game.
It's always the case.
Yeah. Ball going to be played forward here now by Preston. Headed back in towards the Preston penalty area. Can they clear it? Cashin has done well to keep it in. Good skill, good footwork. Did it go out? No, it didn't. Did now. And it's a throw in here for Blackburn. They've got to go for it here.
Yeah, they've got to get this box in the box. Get the ball in the box. Can they load it up? Can they get the delivery right? I don't know if he's got a long throw. I haven't seen this, but I've been thinking, has anyone not got a long throw tonight?
Well, we're going to find out now in the 95th minute.
First one of the game.
Yeah.
He's going to go short. No, he's not.
Well, he's taking his time here. Now he goes in. Well, it's decent, but it's headed away. He'll come to Cashin. Can he get a whip ball in? Floats it towards the far post. There's bodies there. Heading back across goal. It's in! It's in! Hahashi heads it in! And Blackburn back-to-back wins. It's a derby double in the very last minute. Cashin's ball to the far post, and Yuki Hahashi, the sub, wins it for Blackburn. It might be the last touch of the match. Ewood Park goes ballistic. Blackburn 1, Preston 0.
I'm going to change my mind here. Blackburn deserve to win this on the basis of that second half, and it's a brilliant header by Hahashi. The ball comes into the back post by Cashin. Hahashi, I'm sure he gives Jorgensen a little shout there, because Jorgensen looks like he wants to come and get involved. Hahashi just directs the ball back where it's come from, like any good striker does. Uses the pace of the ball, a real third cushion header. back across goal and into the corner. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, what a header. You called it as soon as everyone backed off him and he just headed it back across goal. And nothing David Cornell could do. It's going to be a derby double for Blackburn. It's going to be back-to-back wins for Michael O'Neill. This place might not be full, but it is rocking here. How long to be added on? We're into the 96th minute. Preston, well, they're just going to lump it forward and hope for the best here. Paul Heckingbottom's side are going to miss out. There's a free kick for Blackburn. There's going to be a yellow card against Small. And it threatens just to boil over right at the end. But Blackburn will be euphoric here because they won at Queen's Park Rangers last week and they're going to win at Ewood Park this week. They will be 6 points clear of the drop zone. Preston fans disappointed away to our right. They hit the post early in the second half from the free kick, but they've not offered enough since then. And credit Blackburn. They've gone after it, they've hunted down the goal, and finally they get one. It was a lovely header from Ahashi, brought on as a sub to win it, and that's exactly what he has done. It is 1-0, and we're in deep in added on time. Blackburn have got a free kick here. They're just going to put it towards the corner. All eyes on the referee, and there goes the final whistle. Michael O'Neill shakes hands with Paul Heckingbottom. It's a dream start for the Northern Irishman here on a temporary basis, and Derby Day boils over. There's pushing and shoving after the whistle. No need for that. It was a game that Blackburn won late on. It was a lovely ball in from Cashin, and Ohashi's header wins it. Listen to the noise in this ground. They have not had anything to cheer about for years here at Blackburn. Well, tonight, their fighting spirit has got them all 3 points.
Absolutely. Spot on there, Mark, I'd say. They've not had a lot to shout about over the years, but listen to that noise. What Michael O'Neill's done in this couple of weeks, it's been a masterstroke getting this guy in. People have looked into it a little bit much and said, can he do a dual role? You bet he can. 2 wins out of 2.
Yeah, 2 wins out of 2. A few unsavoury scenes at the end. The Preston fans are not happy. There are a few boos down that end as their players go across to thank them for their support. But it's those in blue and white that are rocking the night away here in the northwest. Blackburn, back-to-back wins. Ahashi's late goal wins it for Rovers. On Derby night, Blackburn 1, Preston 0.
Yuki Ohashi, you are a legend. With 30 seconds of added time remaining, he nods home to put Blackburn 6 points clear of the championship drop zone. They're up to 19th. It is absolutely fantastic from them late on in a game where they really could have scored on several occasions as they piled on the pressure late on in that game. Back to the drawing board for Paul Heckingbottom and Preston North End. It will be a tough one to take. 8th in the table, they stay on 48 points, level on points with 6th place Derby and Wrexham in 7th, but you of course will imagine that things will change over the course of the weekend. This will be a very difficult pill to swallow for Paul Heckingbottom. Delight for Michael O'Neill though, Cameron. What impact he's made at this football club in just 7 days.
Me and Mark was just saying that there, Hugh. What an impact. A lot was made about his appointment, Hugh. You know, people were questioning, was it the right move? Can he do this dual role with Northern Ireland and Blackburn? You know, the predicament what both sides find themselves in. Obviously, Northern Ireland going for a World Cup and Blackburn trying to stay in the division. But what a response. These players have responded to him. I did say it earlier. He's a manager of people, and he's certainly getting a tune out of this Blackburn team right now.
Unbelievable as Yuki Ohashi takes up the fanfare from the Rovers fans inside the stadium. Do you think it was a fair result? Did Rovers deserve it in the end?
You know what? I'd say on the balance of the second half, they just about shaded it. The clearer chances, the more promising attacks did definitely come from Blackburn. They had to ride their storm, and sometimes you have to do that in football, especially when you're at the wrong end of the table. You've got to stand up and be strong, and they stood up and be countered. especially in that second half when Preston started to turn that screw early on. He stood up, and the manager, in all fairness, he counteracted Paul Heckingbottom's substitutions with substitutions of his own, and his worked. And Ohashi got that spot on with that head at that back post. I was looking at it, there was an overload. Jorgensen done really, really well to pin the defender in. The defender was battling Jorgensen. He didn't see Ohashi there, and it's a great header. Planted it back across where it came from, used the pace of the ball like all good strikers do, and it was enough to win the game in the end.
Good finish from Ohashi, sent the crowd into raptures. The expected goals, we spoke about them and how low they were at half-time. 1.06 for Blackburn, 0.12 for Preston at North End, who had 55% possession. But they only had 4 shots in the game, 2 shots on target, 13 shots for Blackburn, who, okay, only had 3 on target, but 1 goal's enough and they win the game. But does that underline the issue that faces Paul Heckingbottom and Preston North End, in that his side do not really create enough in front of goal to take them to where they probably want to get this season?
Yeah, absolutely, Hugh. I think, when you're challenging at the top end of the division, you need more. If you look at the teams in and around that playoff picture at the minute, you've got your likes of Hull who are in the playoffs, they're scoring goals for fun. You've got your likes of Wrexham who are challenging, Birmingham who look like they're challenging now. Even Derby is scoring goals. So even the team stacked up behind in Preston's sort of bracket, they're scoring goals. It's got to be a worry for this Preston side because they didn't lay a glove on this Blackburn defence all night.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Erin Cashin named man of the match by our friends and colleagues on television. Let's pick our own here on Talksport 2 with McDonald's.
Man of the match on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. The Big Arch is here to stay at McDonald's with its very own delicious sauce. Available from 11 a.m, subject to availability, price and participation may vary.
I feel like it's become loaded because you were just talking about the quality of the Blackburn defence, and I mentioned Cashin, but you have a free reign, Cameron. Who have you gone for your man of the match?
It was impressive, Cashin. I think he showed moments of quality. His 1v1 defending. He's the only one who probably had a little bit of composure to try and step out and play out. But I'm going to be biased here. I'm going to go for the goal scorer, Ohashi. I think just a game of this magnitude. I know he wasn't on for long, but when he was on, he made 2 or 3 dangerous moments which could have resulted in goals. Then he pops up with the winner himself. So I'm going to go for the forward Ohashi. I'm going to give him man of the match.
Blackburn Rovers match winner Yuki Ohashi is our man of the match on Talksport 2. All thanks to McDonald's.